Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to episode 5. Episode 5 of Still Up Sports. We were supposed to be live yesterday. A little hiccup with that. Ended up coming or leaving work a little late, so had to delay the pod. But here we are. How we doing, everyone? Thank you, everyone, for popping in. Hey, Goonsville. What's up, guys? Few little additions to the set right now. So I just got my pop filter. I don't know if you guys can hear any difference in the audio compared to the other streams, but this pop filter, maybe it helps with some of my, how it sounds at least. We'll see if there's a difference. This is my first time literally recording with it. I literally just got it in the mail today and I threw it right on. Hey, what's up, Goonsville? Look at this. Oh, can't wait to see those hats, bro. Man, I'm so pumped for my Greek Goonsville hat. Can't wait to tear it up at that Greek festival here in Vegas, man. I can't wait to go do that. How's everyone doing? Yeah, so a little later, even than normal, than I wanted to, 15 minutes later than I normally want to do, guys. Thank you for popping in, Petros. I appreciate it. Yeah, so pop filter for the mic. You may notice the mic is not silver anymore. It has a little sleeve. Almost similar, basically similar to the same mic that Denver Trav has, but Denver Trav is way more handsome than me. Dude is a total legend. So Denver Trav, if you're out there, much love. I appreciate all the content you make. I look forward to seeing every post you make. It's one of the creators out there that I really look forward to looking at and looking forward to seeing post every day. Hey, my mother's in the chat. Yeah, always. Yeah, glad to have people in the chat. I know that, it's a Saturday stream. How the schedule's supposed to start this next week, starting Monday, will be Monday mornings, Wednesday mornings, and Friday mornings. You'll have streams. On the weekends, you are going to be having, weekend streams for whatever sports that are going to be on. So, except for unless I have something big planned, like this weekend, Sunday, I'm going to be going to the Tom Grassi meet and greet with the 30 for 30. He's already reached. I need to check his total, but he's already blown way past his, his totals that he's trying to raise money for. So. I'm going to go meet Tom Grassi. I know he's going to jump off the stratosphere for the, with the little harness, so that's going to be cool. Yeah, man, I appreciate Goonsville. I made sure to go share that short that you made, Petros. I appreciate it. I'm getting better, and I'm going to start clipping some of these shorts and start sharing them more. But one thing is I'm making the switch from Streamlabs to StreamYard soon. I already got the membership for StreamYard. I already started setting up a lot of stuff. I just got to transfer a lot of stuff over and set it up and get comfortable with it. But I've already made it known to Petros. He's going to be the first guest, so Petros gets to be the first guest on Still Up Sports whenever it happens. Now, that's different. If someone else has me onto their show, that's different. If I jump onto someone else's program, that's completely different. But in terms of first guest for Still Up Sports, it's got to be Goonsville. Goonsville's been with us for every show, so Goonsville's going to be here for the very first show with our very first guest. One thing, I was asked if I would move the cat tree onto the set, so I moved one onto the set. We'll see how that goes, guys. Hopefully we don't get cats fighting. Hopefully they don't, well, not fighting, but, wanting to be up here and then wanting to be down here. But I just figured change the setup a little bit. I like to see the set change a little bit more and just be a revolving door of things. So we already got something coming too for our backdrop. I ordered probably what may be a ridiculous, oversized Still Up Sports flag. And they may be perfect size, but I know it's way bigger than this flag. So it may end up becoming the whole backdrop, but if so, that's perfect with me. Oh, let me move that. Yep. No, man, Goonsville's a full-time operation, man. Take your time, Petros. I appreciate you just popping in every day you can. I'm just grateful to have the support. Goonsville and Still Up Sports are like that, man, so I appreciate you. So this weekend and maybe the next stream or two may all still be on Streamlabs in terms of like the software that I use. But I'm going to make the switch to StreamYard. That way I can start having more guests and start streaming with other people. It's going to only really help me if I can start working with other creators and start working. I would like to think that I can help other creators get some subscribers while they can help me get some as well. And something I did last stream, which I may do this stream as well, where we may end up hopping in and looking at some of these subscriber counts for some of these other channels again and see if we can get them an extra sub or two. I know the Buckham Pod for Orange and Blue just hit like 500 subs, so we may pop over there and give them a sub or two, whoever is in here, or whoever ends up rewatching in the future, you know, because all these are available to rewatch in the future. Yeah, guys, so I will be Sunday. I will be going to meet Tom Grassi. If anyone doesn't know him, you know, the like Packers fan of the year, the like amazing fundraising guru for YouTube's streaming. So I can't wait to go meet him. You know, we're just trying to figure out more and grow with what we're doing. And Tom Grassi is like, he sets the standard for a lot of these streamers. So I'm really excited to try to go meet Tom on the weekend. And maybe I give him some stickers, you know. Yeah, guys. So right now we are approaching what would be 1:55 a.m. Mountain Time. So I hope everyone's having a great night. We got a few topics for tonight of the show. We are going to talk about Von Miller. There's a lot of discussion out there, positive, negative, yay, nay. You know, some fans don't want to see it. Some fans do. Some media people really don't want to see it. Some media fans, media people really want to do it too. From the fans to the media to me, I have my own opinion on the Von Miller thing, and we're going to get to that. And I really do think that that's a good discussion to have. And some people, I will say, does that necessarily mean, and this is going to be a little quick tease for this discussion, but with this Von Miller discussion, does that mean you cannot keep an extra linebacker, or maybe you just skimp on a different position? If so, you know, you better hope that you're still set in terms of your special teams guys, because you do not want to see a drop off in special teams. But that's just a little teasing as we get into that discussion at one point. Down the line in the show, we are going to get into the cornerback discussion. We are doing a deep dive with every show. So we are looking into each position. OTA starts June 2nd. So that's something that's super cool. We're going to keep... looking at these position groups. Last time we really looked at the quarterbacks and we looked at the specialists. There's not much there other than like the little bit of discussion with Marvin Mims on like, it's not like no one wants him here. Everyone wants him here for the most part, but there's still a little bit of worry with the words about if he wants to stay here. Or if like he wants, or if he sees better opportunities elsewhere. I really hope that's not the case, and I hope Denver keeps him. But and if there is a time to try to trade him, maybe trade him towards the middle of the year and get some draft capital if that's the case. But I really don't want to trade a single member of this team. I want to keep this team fully intact and really locked and loaded with what we came prepared last year, and then a little bit of extra ammunition with Jalen Waddle coming in. So I hope that is a good little recap of what we basically did with the special teams and the specialists and the quarterback discussion last week, because there was not much to it. I think Bo's going to be just fine, guys. I think Bo and Davis Webb, if they do start out a little slow and a little sloppy, it may be a little bit in the first few weeks. And if that's so, okay, that's understandable. I have them losing 2 road games in California, you know, with the 49ers and the Chargers. So, you know, those are 2 of your first 6. But that means you go 4-2. So I do agree. Yes, Waddle. Oh yeah, man, I'm so pumped for Waddle. Who couldn't be pumped for Waddle? With all this excitement of bringing, there was no excitement with all these re-signings, but there's a lot of excitement with bringing everything you brought back and knowing how close you got last year, and then just adding that little bit of oomph, you know, that little bit of oomph, which is Jalen Waddle. You know, he brings that explosiveness. He brings that different dynamic. He changes what the offense does. He's going to create some extra openings, extra space, and opportunities for these other guys. Troy Franklin, he's still getting his targets. Pat Bryant, well, we will see how he develops, and hopefully he stays healthy. Yeah, guys. I really can't wait to see how this offense looks with Davis Webb, but I have us going 4-2 in the first 6. But yeah, so today's discussion, we are going to do some Q&A. We're going to do Vaughn, and we are going to definitely get into. We'll save Q&A for the end of the shift. Almost said the end of the shift, guys. For the end of the stream, we will save the Q&A because then I can just go back through the chat and read it all. For what I'm learning, though, Streamlabs going to be a lot easier for me to learn. So I am going to make that move over to Streamlabs so then I can have Petros on. You know, Petros deserves to be the first guest on. And I want to see what crazy banger fit he would wear for the first stream. You know, he's got probably the best, like, Batman, Goonsville locker. You know, Batman has all these suits, and I imagine Petros has this, just like this Petros, Batman version of just Goonsville outfit. I'm not saying there's a tactical utility belt on one of those Goonsville outfits, but he's got so much Goonsville and so much, who knows what kind of stuff that he's cooking up there in the little Goonsville Batcave. But, I would love to see what crazy fit Goonsville and Petros can bring for that first stream. That would be awesome to see what kind of crazy heat he brings, because I try my best every night. I'm not a big beanie person unless it's really, really cold. I'll rep them, but I love just having them around too. I gave my black and gold one away a while back to my neighbor who moved away. He's like a brother to me, and he had a baby. They moved to a nicer neighborhood here in Vegas, but we are. I'm going to try to get Jake to come on at 1.2, but Petros, you get to be the first guest no matter what. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, I hope that the pop filter is making a difference. I can't wait to go back and see the comparison, and hopefully it's working well. I do run a fan in here when I am streaming just because I like the room cold, but I hope that the fan has not really popped up on the stream much. And yes, guys, I'm rocking that awesome Goonsville color waves today. Look at that. Sweet. Yeah, man, I can't wait to hang out and kill it in Denver, man. Literally just got a concert, and then we're going to kill like 3 sporting events there. Besides that, I'm free game to go do whatever we need to do. We need to go set up a table somewhere and push some merch, we will. We need to go do some stuff, we can. As is, when you come out here to Vegas, bro, I can't wait to make that happen. We're going to hit up the Mob Museum, bro. We're going to hit up all the iconic little neon sites. We'll go to the Neon Museum, and we'll take some sick-ass, pictures, the sick-ass, pics that you can use, for your site and all that stuff. Because Vegas has all the sites, and you just got to get a few goons, dripped out, and, dude, the pics will be fire. Oh, yeah, man. Petros is the Batman of the clothing industry, man. He's at the young Batman phase right now. Just imagine what Goonsville is going to be in the next 20, 30 years. I've already talked about it. He's already talked about it. There's going to be this casino, man. Hey, I didn't call it on the Golden Knights, okay? And I don't know how to feel about it, guys. Here's Apollo. So, here he is. With the Golden Knights and the Avs thing, guys, I thought they were going to go 7 games, and I thought it was going to go back to back to back. I thought they were going to tear each other up. I did not expect a sweep. But I got a lot of love for the Knights, and I got a lot of love for the Avs. I just recently really started to embrace hockey like that. And so I don't have, my heart doesn't feel like connected to a team in terms of hockey. So because of that, and for this first 30 minutes, we're definitely just going to talk and stuff as we settle in, and then we'll begin the Von Miller chat, and then we'll begin the cornerback room chat. That was another chat we were going to have, and then we're going to have the Q&A at the end. But yeah, guys, I really, in terms of hockey, I'm just I'm just really getting into it. I don't have a dedicated team that I love like that. I got a lot of respect and admiration for a born and raised Las Vegas team like the Knights. You can't deny that. And I understand why the league is not fans of them. They make it to the playoffs more than most have in their first 9 years. No, man, what the Knights have done is impressive, and everyone should be impressed. And why I would say and make the case for an outside fan, or if you're not a fan of the Knights, to be supportive of the Knights, even if it's just for a little bit, is that at least they are not none of these stupid transplant teams like the Athletics and the Raiders. I will always have love for the Rebels, and I'm going to be really hitting up. So that's why I said that with some of these streams, we're going to be some of these streams on the weekends may not even happen because I may be at live sporting events, and I'm going to hit up a lot of UNLV sporting events this fall and this winter. I got a lot planned coming up, man. And later I'll DM you, Petros, even if you're up or if you're not up. You know, you can read the message later. I got some cool stuff I'm trying to talk to you about, but or at least let you know about, man. Because you know, while you're always cooking up some cool heat with Goonsville, you know, or I'm looking at any way I can get better or how I can improve, and I got some big plans in the future. Oh yeah, yeah. You know, my mother is a huge Knights fan, so if anyone, you know, congratulations to her, and hope that the Knights actually go on to win. Because one thing I did say, and that I still hope for, is that no matter who in this series between the Avs and the Knights was going to come out victorious, they're going to win the championship, and that's something I still stand on. So now I am riding with the Knights, but in no way have I been really loyal to the Knights. You could even ask family members or even my own mother in the chat. I've never really been like crazy into the Knights, and I've just been keeping up this last year or so with all the hockey stuff. I got a lot of respect for the Avs and the Knights for winning championships recently. As a new hockey fan with no allegiance, it's kind of fun to watch these crazy matchups. It's great for me, and it's great for the sport of hockey when you when me as a new hockey fan can really just be like, man, there's so many great teams to watch, so many great players. It's amazing. So I'm really enjoying. Can you hear me now? Yeah, that's what I get. I kicked my cord, guys. I need to stop kicking this cord. Sometimes that happens when I kick this cord. Hopefully you can hear me now. Let me know, guys. Yeah. Let's see. We will triple check real quick. But I believe it's all good now, hopefully. Yeah, see, so what happened, guys, is I kicked the cord, and I got to really secure my cords. I got my cord situation under here, And then I got some cords right here. They're kind of a mess. And I'm trying to rearrange this stuff and set it up better. But honestly, until I get a couch for this studio, it's going to just be whatever it needs to be until the couch comes in. The couch is what dictates what's left in terms of like spacing and how things get rearranged and set up. And yeah, we're gonna go for another 9 minutes on this, just talking and chatting and stuff before we get into that Von Miller discussion. I'm trying to stay more organized, stay on more on topic. Hope everyone's having a great night. I say that a lot, but I really do mean it. I really do hope everyone's having a great night. And yeah, I did mention it earlier, so I did get this pop, this little pop sleeve. So it does help with the mic. I hope that it sounds nice. I'm excited to go back and hear it. Denver Trav does have that same little sleeve, but I am not copying Denver Trav. Denver Trav is way more handsome than me, way more talented than me, way more subs than me. So I wish that I could even be a quarter of what Denver Trav is. So I'm not Denver Trav. This mic is not stolen from Denver Trav. I did not steal it from him. It's just I needed a pop sleeve that matched my setup, and Rode has orange. Orange is orange. It doesn't matter. It's a microphone. One thing I am excited for is that I got a flag coming, guys, and it's much bigger than this, and it's a straight-up Still Up Sports flag. It just says Still Up Sports. It's double-sided. It's huge, and in the future, I think that it's going to be great just so I can film content with it in the future. It was pretty cheap. Hopefully, hopefully it comes out the way I need it, because when I got the verification email on that flag, it looked good, but you never know how things are until you see them. One thing, though, I am going to bring Tom Grossi a gift. I love to bring people gifts. And I gave Henry Chisholm from DMVR, another GOAT, I gave him the same gift. Let me see. I gave the same gift to him, guys, to Henry Chisholm. But I'm going to give this to Tom Grossi. But they're aircraft recognition cards, so they're from 1977, and they're made for the Army troops to make sure that they can visually identify an aircraft based off the silhouette. So I'm going to give these to Tom Grossi because he was a history teacher, and I would imagine that he would appreciate these, besides the fact that I'm going to give him, I'm going to give him some Still Up Sports Generation 1, stickers still. I do not have no Gen 2 stickers yet. Once we do get Gen 2 stickers, and we're going to get a lot in whenever that does happen, that's going to happen at once. And when that does happen, we're going to build sticker packs, and it's going to be just one big sticker pack, and it's going to come with holographic stickers, vinyl stickers. It's going to come with a few QR code stickers, a few glow-in-the-dark stickers. We're going to try to get a bumper sticker or two. We're trying to make sure that it's worth at least like $10 for one of you guys to spend, because that money would go into helping me get this couch and help me kind of fund what's going on with the studio. I did step down from full-time to part-time at my job, so that's why I made sure to put more and more time and effort into this. And on small streams or just regular streams or stuff like that, for the most part, anything, if and when we ever can make money, it's going to go towards getting like this couch, trying to get a real nice camera, at least something, so I can go from webcam to camera at least. That would be kind of a neat thing to do. And then besides that, like I said, I do have some stuff coming up. I am working on some stuff. So in terms of just like some self-growth stuff with this channel and with myself that I think would really help. Yeah, if everyone's still in the chat, thank you for showing up. I know that there's not that many people in right now, but it's that's the point. This is Still Up Sports, and we're just here to stay up while everyone else sleeps, and we're going to talk sports while people are asleep and while they don't want to sleep. And that's why this Von Miller discussion is going to be very fun. We are going to transition into that, but one thing I am going to do is we are going to give some great love to Goonsville. So we're going to flip over here to our first, we'll call it an ad break, to Goonsville. Free ads for Goonsville, because Goonsville's been what's inspiring me, man. Goonsville is all about supporting other people in their craft. You know, Petros really just works hard at what he does, and that's why I'm transitioning into this little ad read, and it's free for him because this man has always taken care of me in terms of when I'm trying to, you know, hook myself up more at the Ville and fill my collection out, while also he's also been just so great to the family. Goonsville is family, man. Goonsville, you know, when we talk about like owning your craft, you can look good when you own your craft. Just take a look at this stuff. I love the St. Patrick's shirt. I love it. And Petros already knows I need some Goonsville shirts. We are trying to get some Goonsville shirts. Let me flip over here. Boom. There we are, guys. Sorry. Here we are, Goonsville. You want to support other people while they own their craft, and you want to look good while they do it, and then you want to look good while you own your craft. And that's what this Goonsville is right here, and that's St. Patrick's Day right here. Love it. I was going to say, Petros knows that I'm trying to get me some more of these shirts, man. I got to place an order for some shirts in general, but me and you got some stuff we're working on with Still Up and Goonsville. That's all we'll say for now, but, you know, Still Up and Goonsville is working on something. Petros has already said it once before on one of our videos when me and my mother, we sent a little family gift to him, and it was from a great friend of ours, Gear Duran, man. I'm going to make sure that I can, I don't have it up here now, I believe, but I'm going to make sure that I can get this video up for the next stream of when we gave, we had our family friend Gear. He's an amazing street artist, and we're going to make sure that on the next stream we get his artwork posted, and I'm going to get signed in on the Instagram next time, so that way I can show his Instagram account, just so we can give him Gear his love. But Gear's like a family friend to us, and he was so kind to hook us up on an amazing deal with these paintings, man. He gave us the family discount of a lifetime, which was just too kind of Gear, and we made sure to hook up two amazing, businesses / people that really inspire me. Lindsay from DNVR and Petros from Goonsville, two amazing business owners, two people that really love their craft. Lindsay, I remember seeing on one of her posts at one point she didn't even think that she was going to be a bit like a restaurant owner and a bar owner in her life, and she literally is running the best bar in Denver, in my opinion, in the state of Colorado. I haven't been in any other place in Colorado but Denver, but in my opinion, it's the best place in Denver. It's literally what I looked forward to going. Why I went to Denver for my first vacation in years was to go to DNVR. And the bar, I got enough of the content. It was because I wanted to go to the bar and eat. And also because I met Lindsay and the amazing people at DNVR, like Yaya and all their awesome people when I was here in Vegas. And that's when I met Todd Davis and got that 51 sign. But my point is I'd love to see and support other people that are killing it. So we had those paintings and gifts made. One for Lindsay for DNVR, because she's just an amazing business owner. I've worked in a lot of restaurants, a lot of bars, and she reminds me of a few of my business owners, or at least managers, that were just hardcore, amazing, badass females. So I love to support Lindsay, and I love to support Goonsville too, because Lindsay, to me, she comes off like as a bigger sister to me. I love seeing how DNVR and how that bar is killing it. And I have the DNVR tattoo. That was the first thing I did when we got into Denver last year, is get the DNVR tattoo, because DNVR, I will be a diehard every day into the day that I die. And so free shout out to DNVR. They can get a free sponsorship for tonight, for at least a free ad right there. And then besides that, Goonsville too. Goonsville again, look at this amazing clothes, guys. Petros, he just kills it. So we're giving a quick little ad break to Goonsville real quick. CB Nuggets got some work to do, guys. They got some rearranging to do, and I definitely think that both the Avs and the Nuggets need new coaches, and who knows what's going to happen. I think if anything, the Avs are going to make that move before the Nuggets do. But CB, straight goon, right there, goon. Let's see, some more Goonsville right there, guys. Take a look at that. The Perseverance line. Petros is very proud of this. I'd be very proud too. It's the cleanest line that he's got out there that I've seen right now, besides like this Greek, this Bronco colorway. I can't even say that, honestly. There's so many of them, I can't even pick, guys. Petros knows that every day when I tell him about this, you know, I don't know which outfit to pick. It's true. But yeah, go support Goonsville, guys. You know, go get that 10% off right there. He's got it on the website. Go get that 10%. Yes, guys. Go take a pic. Go take a nice look at all this stuff. Look at all these amazing people right here, guys. All these goons. Goons got goons. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Go subscribe on Instagram with Goonsville, guys. There's so much great stuff going on there. Let's see, and then while we're here, let's give myself a shout out. So first, go to TikTok. If you got a TikTok, I'm really trying to work on building my base up there. Soon, once I make the switch over to StreamYard, and I will see the comments in a second soon, so I will read whatever anyone's commented or chatted. So just give me a second. But while we're here on TikTok for a second, or at least showing you the TikTok page, you know, go subscribe if you or follow if you're on TikTok. I'm at 23. I'd like to reach 50 by the end of the year. You know, maybe 100 by the end of the year. That would be great. We're trying to just boost these numbers up on all these platforms. But yeah, go subscribe to the TikTok. I got some cool stuff up. You know, this was that Goonsville clip that Petros was so kind to clip for me and make. It was awesome, and you know, Petros killed it. I do believe, I think we can play that. Let's see. Hopefully there's audio for it. Big shout out to Petros, Goonsville. You see it right here. Best clothing brand in the game. Ran by one of the best businessmen in the world. He's gonna not like that I'm like heaping so much praise on him, but it's true. Petros is amazing, man. He's a dog. He works his butt off. Goonsville is changing the game. You know, you want to support other people and what they do, what their crafts are. Goonsville is all about that. That's what Petros does. He created this brand with his boys in college, and he's killing it. I have a little corner in here just with the Goonsville. You can kind of see the beanie right here. I'm rocking the Bronco color wave. I'm wearing the gold and black, the hat. You know, Golden Knights. Avalanche coming up. Don't know how to feel about that. I got a lot of love for all Colorado sports teams and the Avs, but then I have a weird feeling because the Knights are all big shout out to Petros, Goonsville. You see it right here. Hey guys, all right, I'm back. Yeah, I muted myself to see if I could play that and see if you guys could hear that. I hope you guys got to hear that. Let's see. Oops. Sorry guys, I'm clicking everything now. All right, we're gonna jump off the screen capture for a second. Whoops. There we are. Sorry guys. I'm a clicking mess. I click on everything real fast. All right guys. But yeah, I hope you guys got to hear that little clip or that little audio. You know, Petros was such a killer guy for making that for me. Really awesome to help me get some attention. Try to network for me, man. Petros is awesome. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna try to get some cats on these on this cat tree. We're gonna work our way to it at one point. We got cat treats right here. All right, good. I'm glad the audio worked and that. So you were able to hear that video of that Petros made, that clip. That was from our very first stream, guys. We're gonna keep getting better with like how we talk on stream. Try to work on the stutter. You know, it takes some time. But yeah, no, I'm glad that, and I hope that everyone got to hear that clip and watch that clip. It's on all those social platforms. I don't have the Instagram account pulled up, but I do want you guys to go check out the Instagram account as well. We're trying to really get some subs on all, followers and whatever, attention, likes, comments. Anything helps, guys. You know, I'm just a little guy on here with 66 subs. Was really hoping to get 67 on my last stream. But we'll work on it on this one, hopefully. Yes, guys. So I'm really going to lean into in about we'll give it 5 minutes real quick, just so I can look at these other, shout out the other pages real quick, just so we can get my some look on the channel as well as like here on the TikTok. So let's go check out the TikTok real quick. All right, yeah. So here's the TikTok. 23 followers. I would like to go up, guys. I would really appreciate all the support if possible. Big shout out to Sports Talk Denver and Ben. You know, just an awesome guy. You know, he really reached out to me. It really helped and boost my confidence when he reached out on TikTok. I only have 23, and when he reached out, I probably had under like 10 subs or 10 followers on TikToks. So just to see that like he even noticed me, that meant a lot, because Ben is like, he's killing it. He's rechanging the game. Sometimes I talk about like how some of these guys, you know, set the standard for the game, or like they are like they are like, you know, what sets the tone. Ben and Sports Talk Denver is changing the game. Dude makes some great content, and he puts it out so fast. I can't wait to hopefully one day just even try to put out videos that fast, shorts that fast. You know, I'm such a boomer with all this technology. I'm just trying to get even just a pinch better with each stream, and especially now that I'm making the switch from Streamlabs to StreamYard and trying to make all this work. You know, I'm just hoping that I can keep trying to boost that subscriber thing. You know, count on YouTube, and then some of these following goals on some of these other, you know, social media platforms that we're on here. So go check out Still Up Sports on TikTok, guys. You know, we're gonna start the cross-platform streaming soon, and what we're gonna do is we're not gonna stream on Instagram, because I believe I only get to choose 3 platforms that I can cross-platform stream on. So we're gonna do TikTok, we're gonna do X, and then we're going to do YouTube. And in the future, down the line, if I upgrade my StreamYard membership, I believe, then I can get more of them, and then I can jump onto like Instagram and Facebook. And down the line, if I get Facebook, I got to change some of the banners and add like the Facebook link and stuff on there. One shout out to my graphics designer, you know, Amelia. You know, big shout out. I appreciate her. You know, this logo, I'm still very proud of it. It makes me smile every time I look at it. That's mine. So thank you so much. And we're gonna keep working on some stuff. It's just there's a lot going on right now in my life with my sister's dog, and trying to spend time with him, and trying to get as much content as I can. And now all this, you know, computer work stuff. You know, the computer stuff is what's difficult for me. So I get better with it. But you know, there's been a lot going on. But yes, Amelia, we're going to get more work done, and we're going to get some stuff going in terms of graphics and some designs and stuff. We'll look into the idea of doing, you know, my thumbnails, but we'll see. At least for videos, because for thumbnails for the late night streams, we are probably going to keep just using the logo as that for now. But we'll see how everything goes, guys. All right, so go check me out on X. And yeah, big, like I was saying earlier, Buckham Pod. If you're on YouTube, go check out Buckham Pod right now and go subscribe to them. They reached 500 already. This post is from earlier, but go check them out still. They're from Orange and Blue Network, I believe, but Buckham Pod's amazing. I love it, and they just now passed 500. It says they're at like 497 right there, but they're actually past 500 right now. But I would say go subscribe to Buckham Pod on YouTube. At Buckham Pod, you know, it's a great show, and I really love it. I really just love all the guys at Orange and Blue, all the guys and gals at Orange and Blue. I love all of them. I really love that this Broncos content creator group, no matter how small or big, because there's so many up top, and then there's so many like at the kind of really low. I would definitely say, obviously, I'm at the lowest count, I believe, for Broncos creators. Yeah, I would have to check, but there could always be 1 or 2 lower than me, but there's definitely a lot of them ahead of me. I'm sitting at 66 on YouTube, but in terms of here we go. Let's go. In terms of followers here, you know, we are currently sitting at 81. Let's try to get to 100 on X. Okay, so if you have X, go follow Still Up Sports and help me get to 100, all right? let's try to get to 100. I'm trying to really boost these following numbers. As I grow with this, we're going to also still try to just continue to get one more person's attention with the idea that late night sports should be a common thing, guys. Late night sports and late night sports talk, why isn't it a thing? Because no one wants to do it. No one wants to think about it as an acceptable thing. They rather wait till the morning. It should be a 24-hour thing. The news is 24 hours. Why can't sports talk be 24 hours? And I'm not saying reruns on some big TV networks. Maybe just a few TV networks in particular that like to play reruns over and over after they just film their live content, and then they just play their reruns over and over. I may post a stream, guys, but I'm not going to put that stream on a loop and make you watch it. And just say that's all I got is that one stream on a loop. No. And unfortunately, that's what these big TV networks are doing, is they're putting their shows and they're putting them on just one. They film their shows, and that's great, but they put it on one big loop. So that show airs 3, 4, 5 times a day. In no way is that informative at that point. You're just stopping. And even though I don't go for 24 hours, I try to fill the gap between the traditional media, traditional radio. The goal at first was 1:30 a.m. Mountain Time to like 5:30 a.m. Mountain Time. That can be a little late and a little long, but the point is because I wanted to fill up as much of that gap between the traditional media and traditional radio before they all wake up. So that way I've helped out the fans in a way by trying to keep them entertained, or at least it's like keeping them warm for for them to come on up. It's like when you go to a comedy club and they send out a small act to warm them up, and then here comes the big act. So that's all I like to see myself as. But yeah, if you have an X account or Twitter, however you prefer to go by, come check out Still Up Sports. I do post on there. I'm trying to post more often on a lot of these platforms, so just stay tuned. But come check out Still Up Sports on X. Okay, help me get to 100 followers on X. And then one more real quick before we get into this Von Miller discussion, okay? And I will try to think of a creative segue into that Von Miller discussion. All right. So here we are on YouTube, guys. 66 subscribers. I would love to hit 67. If you rewatch this in the future, please smash that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Anything helps. Comment. I'm going to make sure that I ask for your guys' feedback, and I want you to drop a comment in these after the fact if you can. Because if you drop a comment in after the fact, it means a lot. It helps the algorithm, and it really helps me. And also, I read every single comment, and I like it, and I, heart every little comment. So every little one gets a personal bit of my own time and my own attention. And I will do my best. I will either respond, and if I can't respond, I'll definitely like it. I intend to like as many of my, followers' comments and or whatever they leave for me. But yeah, guys. So check out me on YouTube. This is where we're streaming right now. We are going to be streaming in the future on multiple platforms, okay? So, honestly, we're 46 minutes in. Maybe we'll just go for a full hour of just our intro random talk. And then we will ease ourselves into this Von Miller discussion. Because after Von Miller, for hour 2, for at least most of hour 2 or part of hour 2, maybe 30 minutes will go Von, and then the other 30 minutes will go Broncos cornerback room. Because we are doing a deep dive leading through OTAs and then leading up into training camp on all these position groups, guys. All right, so yeah, on YouTube, let's get 67. Let's hit 70. Let's hit 70, hopefully, in the next few days. It would really mean a lot if we can hit 70, guys. I want to try to get as much of these subscribers as possible so I can try to pass it forward. There's some other creators that I really think that could benefit from popping on here late at night or being on late at night. It really can benefit them, because I'm trying to reach a certain crowd, a different crowd that may exist, may not exist. I think the reason why there is no late night sports talk is because people think there is not a crowd. But this world is 24/7, and I've worked enough graveyard shifts and enough swing short shifts in getting off at midnight or getting off at 8 a.m. to know that this world is 24/7, which means there's always someone listening, and even after the fact, there's someone listening. So there should be 24-hour sports talk, and maybe this is a little shot at all traditional media. Why not go 24 hours? Why not? If not 24 hours, just help, fill the gap at night. There's not just people, some of the hardest workers in this country work late night, and they deserve sports talk. They love sports. Some of these hard workers who work graveyard or swing shift will get up late at night. Will get off work late at night and then still stay up to watch that early 8 a.m. game because it's in Australia or some other country, or we'll still stay up and watch that 10 a.m. game in New Jersey. We'll watch all these games. Just because you're a late night, person, whether you stay up late or whether because you get off work late, you should not be neglected from sports, and sports should not be gatekept from you, and sports talk should not be gatekept from you. You should not have to wait for daytime to start talking ball. You should not have to wait for daytime to start talking about hockey or boxing or anything else. So that's my little shot to traditional media, guys. Any traditional media would be smart to start thinking about this idea of late night sports talk, and I'm going to be the one to normalize it. And if anyone jumps on it, I'm going to make sure they know that I'm the one that created this idea of late night sports talk. And late night is not 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock p.m. We're up right now at 2:34 a.m. Mountain Time here in what would be Denver. Here 1:34 a.m. Mountain Time in Vegas. So the point is that we are still up. Mic drop, or I can't drop it, but I'm sorry, guys. I had to let that little rant out. That's why this channel exists, is because the big guys, no matter who they are, on any level, does not embrace this idea or think about this idea. And that's why we're going to be the ones to do it. And we're going to rock with Goonsville all the way. All right, guys. Let's pop over to the screen real quick. All right. So, anyone in the chat, thank you so much for popping in, guys. Oh, hey, man. Thank you so much. Man, thank you so much. Man, Petros, again, man, you're a legend. I appreciate you. Man, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'm just trying to get some of these extra subs and stuff on all these other platforms. Anything helps, me and all these other little guys, all these other streamers and creators. There's a lot of them out here in the internet and online. There's a lot of Broncos creators, and they're underappreciated. I like to think that's like your superhero name. But hey, whatever floats the boat, Petros. No, I'll go check it out. I appreciate it, man. Big dubs for Petros. Let's see if we can get some for Petros. Big dubs to Petros, guys. W's in the chat for Petros. Let's see. Yeah, guys, W's in the chat for Petros. Man, you're a legend, man. I appreciate all the support. And this idea is completely different from a lot of what exists out there in the world of sports media and sports content. But that's the whole point of... Oh, wow. Way before Goonsville was born? Man, definitely a different life. Definitely a different life, man. Yeah, man. I was saying in one of my other streams, you got to grow the mustache back, man. You should grow the mustache back. We'll go as Viltrumites for Halloween. I'm working on the stash. You can't. I don't know if you can see it on camera, guys. It's blonde, but I'm doing stuff to make sure it grows in more full. So I'm working on the mustache, man. Yeah, I hope you got to hear that air horn, man. That air horn was much deserved for you. Big air horn for Petros. You deserve that, man. Yeah, guys, we'll ease into the Von Miller talk in about, let's say, like 6 minutes. So this first hour was just kind of like goofing around, talking, and just really getting some extra attention on some of these pages because I'm trying to get my subscriber count up on some of these things, some of my following count. It really helped me a lot. And I am thinking of a cool segue, or at least a segue to this Von Miller thing. But we have no cats up here fighting, unlike Broncos country out there fighting over the whole Von Miller discussion. So maybe that's our transition. You know, they're fighting like cats over this Von Miller situation. Who is going to be right in this situation? Is it going to be the Von Miller lovers or the sorry, but it's stalling? It could stall the growth of other guys. It could stall the growth of these younger players that you don't want to take snaps for. Or is it that camp, or is it the Von Miller camp, the pro Von Miller camp that's right in this situation? Are both sides right for wanting what they want? Probably. That's the case, in my opinion. Absolutely. Viltra, my goons. We do this for the Empire. Yeah, guys, we do this for the Empire, the Viltrumite Empire. Anything to keep the Grand Region happy, you know, keep them from sliming this planet. Yeah, dude, man, that might have to be one of my Broncos tailgates because with the point of going for 2 weeks is I have to check because I think there's our bye week's week 9. I have to double check the schedule real quick, so I will check this, but. Let's see. All right, guys, let me check the schedule real quick just because I got to double check. I'd like to think that week 9 is our bye week, but I just want to double check because I wanted to be out there for 2 weeks for a reason. Okay, yeah, so week 9 is going to be it's going to be an away game, but I will still be in town for week 9. So the point of week 9 is I'd love to at least with week 9 get to check out some tailgates, or I'm probably just going to spend week 9 at the DMVR bar. That's my guess. Is so November 1st. You know, and I'll probably be there for Halloween. Hopefully, I want to get there the night before Halloween so I can chill for Halloween. But one thing I definitely want to do is, so I am going to be there for that Chiefs game, so November 1st. My birthday is November 6th, but I do want to go to the bar on the 8th to watch that Broncos-Panthers game at the bar because I've gotten to enjoy the Broncos tailgate, and I am going to go to that tailgate again, but I do want to enjoy a Bronco game at the bar. I never got to do that, and I never got to sit inside the bar for some of these live sports because I was either out at them because I was at a Nuggets game last time, I was at a Bronco game last time, and besides that, I was doing touristy stuff in my 5-6 days I had. Yeah, guys, we're getting closer to making that transition into this Von Miller discussion to begin this actual sports talk, guys. We've talked a little bit of sports, but we've just mostly been getting some shout-outs, trying to build some of this traction. But yeah, no, so that Panthers game, I may definitely be at the DMVR bar November 8th, guys, just so I can, and it's early too, Sunday, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Oh yeah, guys, you know what that means. Brunch at the DMVR bar. Bottomless mimosas, chicken and waffles. Oh, guys, I'm going to be having a blast. I don't know how many subs I'll have by the time I get to Denver, but I'm going to make sure that I put it out there that if anyone wants to meet up, let me know. My time is your time. Anything for this channel, because it's part vacation for me, and just a little bit of celebrating my 30th birthday. But most of this is just trying to meet you, the fan, and meet any supporter that I have out there. I just really want to meet everyone. I want to do as much networking as I can. Promote this idea in general. Let people know firsthand and explain to them why I want this idea of late night sports talk. Because I'll say it right now, I'm not going to say the big networks so they don't come after me, but there's a 4-letter network that just loves to run reruns all the time. They'll film their show and then they'll just run reruns. And then there's a certain network that belongs to a certain sports conglomerate with a special shield with 3 letters in it. I don't have to say anything else about those 2 networks. That all they do is they play reruns, and they are not up late at night live. The closest that one of them does is up late at night live is when they are switching between other sports. So that's respectable at least. But in terms of if you want, talk at this time that's live, no matter what the subject is, at this time that's live, this is as good as it's going to get, as if it's a streamer online. So this is your chance to pop on and subscribe. Get in on it while it's early, guys. We really want to get up to that 70 subs, maybe 100 subs soon. And as I said, I'm making the switch over to Streamlabs. So when I make that switch over to Streamlabs, we are going to start having guests on, and Petros from Goonsville is going to be our very first guest. And this man has played corner. Man, this man is an athlete. He's an athlete himself, man. Don't get me started on his taekwondo, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's taekwondo. I don't want to say karate, but you let me know, Petros, in the chat which one it was. But either way, you're an all-around athlete, man. Still an athlete. Hey, you're welcome to run that Colfax 10 with me next year, man. I don't know what you're doing. You're welcome to run it with me. I'm going to be putting my best in for the first 5 miles, maybe 6, and then after that, the final 4 miles, I'm just going to cruise for that final 4 miles of the Colfax 10. Just cruise, drink, have fun, and cross that finish line. I'm not worried about my time, honestly. It's about crossing. Obviously, getting my little medal to say that I did it and keeping my bib, of course. But besides that, it's all about enjoying the views and the vibes, bro. So you're welcome to join me. I would love to have you with me, man. Anyone's welcome to join me in that. Yeah, guys. So as I was talking about making the switch to... I did mention it. We're making the switch over to StreamYard from Streamlabs soon, so we can have guests on, and so that's kind of neat. But we're also going to make the switch in this discussion over to this pass rush discussion with Von Miller. See what I did there? See what I did there, guys? Can I get something? Can I get something? How about? Yeah. How about that transition, guys? How about that switch, that little switch transition? I practiced that for a whole 0 seconds, guys. All right, so as we move on into this discussion, we're going to start talking Von Miller. And this Von Miller discussion's got Broncos fans kind of heated, and we're going to really dive into it now. So we're only talking Von Miller, and we're talking about this position group situation right now. Everyone knows that Von is out there campaigning for himself. We will go onto the screen capture and pop onto the Twitter probably and check some of these videos from these interviews. So whatever platform that we do watch, we're going to make sure that they get their respective shout out for at least as I show, the interview, or at least some of the clips if I can. I don't want to... I'm not stealing anyone's stuff. We're going to make sure that we show their profile, whether it's one of the local radio cats or whoever it is. We'll show whoever it is, and we'll show some of the Von Miller stuff. But Von Miller's been campaigning, obviously. Hi, sweetheart art. Yep, see, guys, we got a cat. We do got a cat. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, so we do got a cat hanging out here. So what I was saying about Von Miller, guys, he's been campaigning. Everyone knows this. Since he's left, it's always still been we. He's always been saying we and us when it comes to the Broncos. He is a Bronco through and through. Von Miller is Mr. Bronco. He knows all about the heart of Bronco. Oh man, you need to grow the mustache back out just for the next season of Invincible, just for that reason. I'm growing mine out just for that, and I'm not gonna shave it. I'm gonna grow it out. Maybe I'll shave it when I reach like 500 subs. That would be the only reason why I would ever do it, is if I reach 500 subs on YouTube, I would shave it, because it's tiny now and it's gonna grow and grow and grow, and I'm not gonna stop it. I'm just gonna grow the mustache and we're gonna see what happens. But yeah, guys, so with this Von Miller discussion, he's been campaigning. He really wants to come back. He's always wanted to come back. I don't think he wanted to leave in the way that he did. If only there was some more competency. He saw no offense. We got to think about what he had on that Broncos team when he was leading the Broncos, at least leading that team as the spiritual leader when he was still on that team. There was not much at the quarterback position. That offense was always struggling. And because of that offense struggling and always being behind or costing them the games and stuff, or just not being productive enough and putting too much weight on that defense's shoulders, that's ultimately what cost Von Miller and him even leaving. Who knows what would have happened if we actually had some competency in that time? Maybe would have kept him long enough to keep him around even then, no matter what, he would have been gone before the rush years. It's just Von was probably going to go no matter what, unless we were winning back-to-back Super Bowls. And who knows? It's like that funny discussion with Elway. Could they have had their 3P if Elway came back? Maybe they could have went back-to-back had Peyton Manning came back. Maybe they could have went back-to-back if Brock came back for that 1 year, but I really don't think that would have been the case either. These things happens for a reason. When it comes to sports, something happens, and it's that singular moment that's just meant to happen, and what happens. You just got to embrace it. There's so many of those moments in sports, and you just got to embrace it. So, with Von, he didn't have much on the offensive side. This team was not playing like a Super Bowl team that he had just won a Super Bowl with. He had just won Super Bowl MVP with. This team did not play like that the last few years of his time in Denver. So because of that, that's what led to him leaving and him being traded. And they did the right thing by giving him that chance to go play with the Rams in LA. They gave him the right chance and the opportunity, and it paid off for him because he still got a ring. And he didn't even need to do it with he's not even with this version of the Rams. He was with a different version with the Rams. But the thing is, the Rams are the same version of themselves almost every year, just slightly better. They're like literally the same team in terms of they're just the same thing, same product, just really productive. That's all they are. It seems like the product's the same. But with Von, he spent some time after leaving the Rams with Buffalo, and then he spent last year with the Commanders. He got 9 sacks with the Commanders last year. So with Von Miller, guys, it hits hard for us because we can see that he was productive. Some would say he was productive on a bad team, but I think that there is 2 discussions here, and then there's 3 outcomes or things that you can like. And the 2 discussions are yes, pro, bring Von back, or the other discussion is no. The 3 things that you can accept and like is yes, no, or you could accept the fact that what happens here with Von, good or bad, can it doesn't have to be a bad thing if they don't sign him, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing if they do sign him, because just this talk, think about what this means inside that linebacker room. A lot of these guys love Von. Nick Bonito loves Von. A lot of these guys love Von, But do you think that the guys on the lower end, Q Robinson, you think some of these guys like Jonah Ellis, who's now, I mean, even though he is still in ILB, he is still going to be taking snaps now at edge. My bad, he's an edge still, but he is taking snaps at ILB, but he's still an edge technically. You got DeAndre Tillman, you got some guys at edge that are in the back part of this depth that like this is their job, and they don't want to leave Denver. Some of them can be very productive and definitely make 53s. All of them, every one of our edges probably make 53 on other teams. But my point is that with this discussion, just with what's going on with this whole Von Miller talk, look at it from that linebacker room. Maybe the top of the linebacker room would love to have Von there, but these guys that may be replaced by Von, they are not excited about this. That's why this discussion is going to be fun to have. Is that some of these guys, maybe one of them may be replaced if you bring Von in, and a lot of these guys is very young. They have a lot of upside, and they were very productive in what limited time you got them. So because of that, you want to see how this goes, and maybe you don't want to add a guy that comes in here and takes some snaps away and is just Von immediately steals half the cameras every year after each game probably. That's just because of who he is. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but at the same time, he's going to get so much attention, even as a depth guy. And you got these literal depth guys that may be able to produce more than him if given the opportunity. Those 9 sacks with Von were great. So I'm making the no to Von discussion right now. And then I'll flip over and I'll make the pro Von discussion too. Sorry, guys. Let me get a drink of the Red Bull. All right, so the the no Von discussion obviously has been so far is like, you don't want to take snaps from these guys that have so much potential, and you don't want to move on from one of these guys. You don't want to risk the chance of losing one of these guys because of what they could do for the future. They have so much upside. You want to come up here? I'll put you up here, buddy. You come here, I'll pick you up. I'll put you right up there. We got a cat down here, guys, and we very well may put another cat up there if Apollo lets me. If he comes over to me, I'll pick him up and I'll put him right up here, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, with Von Miller, that's the discussion against him, is that it takes away from those guys. Is it necessary? That's the discussion. Is it worth the extra attention? When maybe you want that attention on some of these younger guys. Come here. Trying not to get cats getting all crazy, you guys. Come here. Lalo. Hi, buddy. Yeah. Here we go, guys. There we go. Double cats on camera. Nope. Sorry, guys. That did not last long. I tried my best right there. It didn't last long. And with this Von discussion, with it being a coin, there's two heads to it. But that coin can also roll, and who knows where it rolls. So that's why I like the idea of just looking at both discussions and seeing how it plays out. Because even if you don't bring Von in, that very well may have fired up some of these guys in that the further part of that depth of that edge room. Because Von said it himself that he's not going to play. I'm not going to play a clip just because I don't want to, share anyone's thing without upsetting anyone. I'll look into how that goes. I just don't want to upset anyone. But I've watched the clips of what Von has said and what he's told the media, and Von definitely has said that he is not going to play special teams and he's not going to start. We all even knew that. We all saw that coming with Von. So if he's not going to play special teams and if he's not going to start, whose spot is he going to take unless you're going to, whose spot is he going to take from that linebacker room? Is he going to take, is he going to push Jonah out? No. Is he going to push DeAndre Tillman? Who's he going to push out there? Is he going to push Q Robinson? Because you like Tillman, one of your best DBs. You love, Q Robinson and some of that high motor, potential. He showed a lot of great, moments. So there's so much upside there to be excited for him. Yep. All right, guys. So here's Apollo. Here's my son right here. Apollo Creed, William Chapa. Yep. He has his dad's middle name. But yeah, so. Oh, guys, I'm not sure if I introduced myself from the beginning, but my name's Cody Chapa. I'm Cody Chapa. This is Still Up Sports. Thank you, guys. I totally went into all these segments and just talking and talking. Don't think I even introduced myself. So if anyone's new here for the first time, my name's Cody Chapa with Still Up Sports. This is my little sports show. We're just trying to normalize late night sports while the big guys in sports media continue to neglect this crowd. Thank you for popping in, guys. To anyone who shows up and anyone who watches after the fact, just feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate every single one of you. And if you do comment and you do like, I will respond. So if you have questions, if you have opinions, takes, let me know. Let me know if there's things you would like to see me get better at as well. But yeah, so far I'm continuing, and I'm going to keep making the no to Von discussion before we flip over to the other side of that coin, and we're going to see how the pro Von discussion sounds too, because the no Von discussion, so far we got a few things on here, taking snaps away from younger guys. He's not going to play special teams. He's not going to start. Might be a distraction. There is that small possibility. Everyone loves Von, but he may be slightly too much of a distraction at times, and you may not even need that or want that. And who knows what this coaching staff, who knows what's going through the mind of Sean Payton. If I knew what was going through the mind of Sean Payton, I would have so many free Nikes, because I would be Sean Payton if I could go through the mind of Sean Payton, and I would have my own Nike deal. But I do not have a Nike deal. I am not Sean Payton, and I cannot even go through the mind of Sean Payton. So who knows what they're thinking about this and what they want. We know Von's actively campaigning for himself to come back to Denver, that he wants to be a part of this team. He has a lot of love for Bo Nix. He is very much excited and wanting to see this team go on and win a championship, and he wants to be a part of it. You can't deny it. He has been in a lot of positions and put himself throughout his career, even after being with the Broncos, to be in positions to try to get a ring or try to compete, whether it was his time in L.A., whether it was his time in Buffalo, or even with his jump to the Commanders. Even though the Commanders were not as good and they were bad, you see why Von went there. He saw the potential in Jayden Daniels, and he thought that, he saw Jayden Daniels get deep into playoffs and was like, oh, yeah, this is why I'm going over here. He thought that he had a chance to go win. And, Von he's very smart. He wants to be a GM. But so you can tell that he wants to come and he wants to be a part of this. And some fans just are not having it with this idea, or local radio cats as well. Some of them are not having it with this idea of bringing him in. They're saying it's not worth it, and that all those takes, whether he's a distraction, whether it's not worth it, whether it's a waste of money, whether you think that it takes snaps from other people, someone's going to get cut because of Von having to be on here. That's one less body to help you when you need him on special teams, or when you need a legit starter. So you got all those things stacking against Von in this pro-Von Miller discussion. This anti-Von discussion, and that's quite a lot. When you think about it, Vaughn has an uphill battle with a lot of these critics, because a lot of those takes are very valid. And there's the discussion, even when I try to make that discussion coming up soon, when I make that discussion coming up soon for how, there's pros to this and why there are pros to this, you can very much just look at these reasons why. You can, sorry guys, you can look at these reasons why Vaughn is, all these reasons why people say no, and you can say they're all valid. Every one of them is valid. And there's a part, no matter what, even if they do sign him, or if you want them to sign Vaughn, and I do want you to comment. So please comment in after the fact. If you're watching this right now, this is your time to get involved and engaged with this stream. Comment after the fact, or comment in the live chat right now. Are you pro or are you against Von Miller? And tell me why. So far, I've made the case for why people are against Von Miller coming back. And you got to agree that these are valid points. They're all valid points because this team is very deep. There's a lot of great young talent. You don't necessarily want to move on from that kind of great young potential. So, that's something that you don't want to really change. You don't want to take snaps away. You don't want to miss out on what could be a real gem of a guy just because you want to just get nostalgic. That's the vibes from some people, is nostalgia is not worth it. But in my opinion, which we'll get to my opinion at the end of the stream. Not at the end of the stream, but towards the end of this discussion. But not just in mine, but so in a lot of people's opinions, it's worth it, and it's not. But just even, like I mentioned earlier, this discussion, this talk about what it can do for the room, you can bring them in, and in the discussion of Pro Vaughn, they're all talking about, what it can do for the room. And that's what Vaughn is also saying, too. He may be out there saying that he will not play special teams, that he will not be a starter. But Vaughn is also out there saying that this room would have so much great vibes, that I bring the Super Bowl 50 energy and all that. And you, just a Bronco fan in me, and I'm sure in a lot of you, get nostalgic about that and be like, oh, yes, it would. But like I said earlier, where there's good vibes, there's always going to be some bad vibes. And in this case, you may have a lot of guys that are happy to have Vaughn on that team, but you're going to have someone that might lose their job or their position, or no matter what, even if you find a way to not affect the guys you already have, or find a way to sneak someone on the practice squad or whatever, or even if you manage to keep that room intact for the most part and add Vaughn, which I'm not sure that works that way. Even if you manage to make that work, people are still going to be unhappy in that room because they're losing snaps somehow. Especially because of the fact that he's not playing special teams and that he's not starting, he's taking a big chunk of those backup snaps, which are, if you're a special team, if you're doing the work and you're playing special teams, and you're a backup who showed a lot of potential when you have been on the field on defense, wouldn't you be mad that, hey, I'm actually doing the work on special teams and I can do that, and I'm not getting the opportunity to do just because this guy and what he may have done in the past? Hello, everyone. Caden Luttrell, what do you mean by record production? I see your chat. What do you mean by record production? I'm just curious. And so some people just don't want to get nostalgic, and some people see that nostalgia is not worth it for all of the possible consequences. And I think that why we're having this discussion just shows that we're a good team again, because now everyone is so worried about the hypotheticals. Thank you for popping in, Caden, though. I appreciate you. Let's see, guys. Yeah, guys, so that's pretty much the no-go discussion with the Vaughn, really. I mean, that's what I'm seeing online from most people. I see a lot of fans that are just pointing out to those facts, and they're all great, valid facts. So if you see a Bronco fan out there that is saying they don't want Von Miller back, do not shame them, because they have some valid points. Von Miller wants to be a GM, and if he wants to be a GM one day, he will see that these decisions happen. The couch is not coming in soon. It's because I got to save up for it right now. I got a lot going on, and if anything, hopefully I can get a couch in the next month. I'm just saving up for a couch. But I do appreciate you popping in, Caden. Thank you for showing up. You know, I'm looking for anyone who wants to just pop in here, anyone who's just curious about talking sports late at night, you know, or listening to sports talk late at night, you know. I appreciate anyone who shows up. Feel free to like, comment, you know, leave a question or drop a question. If there's anything on your mind, drop it in too, and I'll make sure I address it with the Q&A that I have towards the end of the shift. I mean, the end of the show. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I put a lot into this setup. The last few months, you know, I put a lot of my paychecks into this. Not just from the tech, but just trying to make sure I set it up right. And sadly, when I did order a couch, I did get a couch, but they sent me the wrong color. And then I agreed to keep it with the wrong color. Sorry, guys. Sorry for that yawn. But when I agreed to keep it for the color, it was missing legs. So then I had to send it back no matter what, because it was just not functional. So instead, I was able to just get ahead on a few other things with the setup and get a little more ready to go. But one thing I do think is that we will hopefully have our couch in the next month or two. At the latest 2 months, but hopefully just a month. I'm just a normal guy. I have a job too. You know, I work 4 days a week. And then, you know, I come home. What's going to happen is I come home for 2 of those late night streams 3 days a week. We are going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all at 1:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Those streams are all going to be late night, and then we're going to be doing weekend streams during like watch-alongs of other sports. Come on. Yep. I got multiple cats over here, guys. I think she wants to get up here. And it'll be nice. These guys just want to be mean and fight over the cat tree. So while the suggestion to put a cat tree in the setup was a good idea, guys, at the same time, the cats are not big fans, because they get greedy over this stuff. And this one takes it a little too serious. He takes it way too serious. See, he takes it way too serious. This dude is only 3 years old, and he is feisty. And he's got an old lady for a sister, so, you know, he pisses her off a lot just because he's so high energy. Yeah, again, setup question, you know, I appreciate it. Thank you for saying that. That it looks fire, though. I worked a lot towards it. Just from putting the effort in to just trying to go get my own, like these 2 jerseys that I got autographed right here, that are in those frames. You know, I worked hard to buy them, to go meet them, to get them autographed, to pay to get them frame, you know, to get the frames, and then to help frame them myself, you know, and then get them on the wall. You know, it means a lot to just put all that effort in yourself, and then you see what it can turn into when you lock in and you actually do put some effort into stuff. You know, the pop sleeve right here, that's new. Anyone who's watched the other few streams before will know that the stream was, I mean, the mic was silver, and that's because that was just a plain old microphone. Now I have the sleeve to go over it, and I'm really excited to see how that's affected the audio. But so far, guys, we spent the first hour kind of just like giving myself a shout out and talking Broncos and talking about, well, a little bit of Broncos, but mostly talking about like the channel. Go subscribe on, all these multiple platforms, such as, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. We're trying to get, we're at 25 followers on TikTok. We're trying to go up to at least 50. We're at like, on Instagram, I think we're at like 80-ish. We're trying to go up to 100. On Twitter, we're like at 80-ish. We're trying to get to 100. And then on YouTube, in terms of subscribers, we are only at 66, trying to go up to 67. So I really would love to try to make that happen and try to go up to that. Oh, nope. My bad, guys. We are at 68. And that does make sense because Petros did subscribe, and then we got another person in here. So we've gone up 2 subs just with the stream. So that's pretty awesome. Total legendary moment. Shout out to the chat just for helping us get 2 more subs. Petros, and then I believe this other sub must be Caden, unless someone else subscribed. You can be listening and you don't have to comment. I would love to know who's here. Broncos chat. Man, I literally was gonna shout you out yesterday on the show, and I just was not able to get live because I was stuck at work. I was not able to leave and get home in time to do the show when it was scheduled. But yes, Broncos chat, man. If anyone, I don't have the Instagram signed into right now, but next show I'm going to make sure I pull it up still, and I'll make sure I give you your own little segment. But if anyone's on Instagram, go check out Broncos chat, man. Crazy graphics, crazy edits. Reached out to me on Twitter. I've been following your content for a minute, bro. So just to see that, that made me feel cool. Just that you reached out. Just like when I said with like Ben from Sports Talk Denver, Mike from Mile High Monsters. All these awesome Broncos creators, all of them have at one point reached out at one point or another. Whether it's like David Talks Broncos, whether it's Kodiak Broncos, whether it's Dak from Broncos Bros, whether it's all these people, they've all reached out at one point or another. Whether it's Eric from Second Shift Sports, who he covers like mid to lower level college basketball and football. He's working on getting his channel up and going. But I've had so many cool, awesome people reach out. And Broncos chat on Instagram. I've been watching your content for a second, and as a fan. So as a fan, I love it. I love what you do with your graphics and with your edits and stuff. So you're just a legend. So a big shout out, big dubs. We're gonna give an air horn just for Broncos chat. Whoops, sorry. You can get the applause first, then an air horn. How about that? All right, applause to Broncos chat, and how about some air horns? Big air horns, a big applause to Broncos chat, guys. Broncos chat on Instagram. Go give a follow on Instagram, the Broncos chat. On the next stream, I'm going to make sure I have all that stuff signed in on Instagram so I can pull it up so you guys can see his page so you can go subscribe. But Broncos chat, man, thank you so much for popping in, man. I love seeing all these awesome people who just so happen to be up at this time of night, or are whether they're in different places around the world or they're just awake at this time of night, just showing up for the idea of late night sports talk. I've already made the conversation and the discussion for the fans and the people that are anti-Von coming back. And I'm about to start making that discussion for the people that are pro-Von. And mostly I'm just taking what these discussions are, because I spent all day looking online through Broncos, just chat on like Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, just seeing what like the reactions were to this whole Von Miller discussion, because everyone knows Von's been campaigning, and I'm not trying to focus too much on the will he, won't. I'm kind of focused on understanding the fans and why they feel this way. You know, they have reasons to feel this way and are right to feel this way too. Broncos fans that don't want him back have their reasons, and it's because they want to protect the assets they have, and you can't blame them for wanting to do that. That's a good thing to want to have and be in this position to where we're debating if we want to have back the best player in franchise history on defense, the best defensive player in franchise history. We're literally having the debate if we even want him back, and that's crazy. Who would think that would be a problem? Because if Ray Lewis left Baltimore for 2 years, 3 years towards the end of his career, and then wanted to come back for 1 year, you know Baltimore would have been all over that. So that's my point, is that this is a fun discussion, and understanding why the fans feel this way, or whether they're pro or against. You know, understanding the fans' emotions, you know, whether what happens, and we'll understand the outcome no matter what happens, whether we sign him or we don't sign him. But understanding the fans' emotions and why they feel this way is the more of the greater discussion with this Von situation. That's why I dove into the whole, you know, cons that the fans have brought up for many reasons, and they're great reasons. So now we're going to flip into the pro reason. Back when I was talking about the cons, and yes, much love to Broncos Chat in the chat, man. Everyone, go subscribe, go follow Broncos Chat. If this is the Broncos Chat YouTube page you're commenting on, man, I'll make sure that people go check out the Broncos Chat page. Let's see. Well, I just subscribed no matter what. I'm gonna go pull this up for you real quick, man. I'm gonna pull it up for you so we can try to get you a sub. All right, I just subbed right now on the Still Up account. I'll subscribe on my personal one in a little bit or in the morning, because of my phone, it's charging. It's on the other side of the room. I don't have it in my hands. But yeah, so go subscribe to Broncos Chat. You know, at Broncos Chat on YouTube. You know, I'm sure that you just recently created your account, literally just now, or today. So, you know, I appreciate you just even for showing up, man. It means so much to see you pop up. You're forever a great friend to me just for doing that. You know, it's still so early in my journey. While I learn how to talk on camera, while I learn how to organize a show, talk about a script, produce the show, and it's been a lot and overwhelming for me. But the one thing that takes away from that is seeing all the support from the big and the small creators, just the individuals, the fans, the supporters, the people that just support each other. And I love Broncos Chat. I enjoy the Instagram page quite a bit. And we all know that Meta lost their lawsuit for, being addictive, Instagram being addictive and stuff like that. If there's one thing that I'm addicted to on Instagram, it's your edits and anything that Broncos Chat's doing. So go check out Broncos Chat on Instagram. Come subscribe to Broncos Chat on YouTube. I was just his first sub. Let's get him a few more. I may have just been his first sub or his second, because it may have not updated, and he may have been his first sub. We'll see. All right, well, it says 1, so that means it's me. So go subscribe to Broncos Chat, guys. I just truly appreciate all the support, man. Man, just to make the account to come support, it means a lot. We're gonna send the support your way. Maybe you'll get more involved on YouTube just because of it. You don't even have to if you don't want to, because what you do on Instagram is just pure gold. But you could probably take what you do on Instagram and just post it right up on YouTube too. One thing that I'm learning in this journey is when I make content and I make it for YouTube, and I am gonna start clipping my streams and turning those into shorts. But one thing I am learning is that any short that I make, every single platform. So As soon as I make it and post it on the Still Up Instagram, it goes straight onto the Still Up TikTok, and then it goes straight onto the Still Up X account, so on and so forth. So that's one thing I've really been really getting into, and making sure that I just post it all on everything. That way, for the most part, I know that everything on each account should be the same thing, or what I see on one account should be the same on each other account for the most part. I mean, on the same accounts, but yeah, man, it just means a lot that you showed up. So thank you, man. Broncos chat. Here you go. Man, thank you so much. I'm just grateful for the extra sub, the extra attention, and just to have you in the chat. The sub doesn't even mean as much as having you in the chat. Just having you here and your presence over the sub is what matters. But the sub is greatly appreciated. We're on our road. We're at 68 now, so we avoided the whole 6-7 thing. So I can only hit the 6-7 once on stream now, and it's only going to be this time. Because if I do it in the future, I gotta trombone myself, I gotta do that to myself. That's what I gotta do to myself if I hit the 6-7 one more time. So this is the final time, all right? Since we passed it, there you go, guys. 6-7. We passed 6-7. We're at 68 right now on YouTube with the help of Broncos chat, which I believe, and then with the help of Petros. Petros made sure to help earlier, get an extra sub. And then, Broncos Chat create an account just to show up. So Broncos Chat, if there's anything you need from Still Up Sports and me, because I am Still Up Sports, so it's just me and my cat. My cat's the co-host. He doesn't do anything. So if you need anything from me and Still Up Sports, I got you. Thank you for showing up, man. I appreciate you so much, and I'm gonna do anything I can to promote, what you got going on when I can. I try to spend periods of these shows talking about other people that I look up to or admire, and I look up to every fellow creator and every person that has what it takes to try to post anything online. When it's one thing to live your normal life, but the minute that you engage and post something online, you're stepping out of a different kind of comfort zone and a different kind of zone in general when it comes to getting people involved. So thank you so much for popping on, man, and hopping in the chat. It meant so much to see you show up and to get the sub. And we're at 69, guys. We are at 69. So I'm not going to make a joke, but, ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. That one's very funny, right? And that one's very funny. Maybe not. But yes, 69 subs. That means so much, guys. Thank you so much for getting me up. We were at 66 before the stream. And just to go up a few more, it just really means a lot because I put a lot of effort into this. And I'm going to keep doing it. I've already talked about it, and we're going to get back into this Von Miller discussion. This stream will go as long as I need it to. I'm now off for the next 3 days. It's my weekend now, but the stream will go as long as I need. But I've sent some emails, I've put in the work, and I've sent some Instagram DMs or whatever, and I'm trying my best to try to get into the SAC Summit as credentialed. I know I'm not like a normal, national reporter or credentialed national reporter, but I'm local here in Vegas, and I'm respectful. I'll follow the rules. I just like the chance to at least be seen as even on the same level, because I have a right to practice journalism as much as these big networks, and I'm catering to a crowd that they don't want to cater to. Therefore, I think I should have a chance to cover what they get to cover, so it's at least fair. But if I can't get into the SAC Summit, because I've done what I can, and I'm going to I'm going to send 1 or 2 more emails before as we get closer. But if I can't get into the SAC Summit here in Vegas, I'm going to stand on the sidewalk as close as I can get, or to whether it's where everyone drives out or leaves, and I'm gonna make a sign. I'm gonna post up there, and I'm gonna be ready to interview if I can. I'm gonna try to snag someone for an interview. If not, I'm just gonna cover it from the outside, and I'm gonna just cover anything I see online, and we're gonna just try to cover it like a journalist standing outside in the rain for the first time, and they just hate themselves. That's what we're gonna do if we can't get credentialed for the SAC Summit. But I sent emails. I'm trying to do this as professionally as possible. I may not have any. I may not be credited or credentialed, but I would like to get permission from the SAC Summit to at least show up, because it's only a few miles away from me here in Vegas, and I would love to show up and cover it, because I love Vaughn. I love what the SAC Summit has been doing, and what it started as and what it has now grown into, just looking at it from the outside perspective as a fan. So we'll see if the SAC Summit thing happens, but if not, it's perfectly fine. But thank you so much, guys, for getting me up to 69. That's just awesome. That means the world to me, just to be up a few more. We're gonna bust through, and we're gonna reach enough subs, and we're gonna build enough of a base to where all these other creators have to hop on. Whether they stay up late or I stay up and we record some stuff, because I'm an open book. I will gladly. Here at Still Up, the point is about being still up. So if I have to be still up for you to film some content or do a show, I will gladly do it. That's why I keep Red Bulls in this fridge. That's why this fridge is going to be ready for live streams. There's drinks, all kinds of stuff in there, from adult beverages to just Yoo-Hoos to apple juice to orange juice to soda pop to whatever. This is just a random drink fridge for covering whatever sports. But yes, man, thank you for so much, guys, getting me to 69. It means so much. I love saying that number now, but there's no joke there. And then, like I did show you guys the X page, the Twitter page. We're just trying to build ourselves up a little bit. We're working our way up there a little bit. And then the TikTok page. So we are at 23. But if you are on TikTok, anyone, we're also on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We are on Twitter. So go check that out. Definitely give Goonsville some love. Give Broncos chat some love. We just subscribed to Broncos chat. Let's see. Here we are, guys. See, Broncos chat already had 2 subs, so someone's paying attention. So that's awesome. But yeah, guys, this is what this community is about, and I said it earlier. And we're gonna get back into Vaughn talk still. I'm gonna wrap it up with in like 2 minutes. I'll jump back into it, and I'll wrap up with the pro Vaughn talk. And then after that, we'll look at the take, or we'll at least go back on those takes, and I'll let you guys come to your decisions and your opinions. So what was I going to do, guys? Yeah, so what I was going to say is that this is what I love about Broncos creators, is that it's never a competition. It's about supporting each other. Everyone's literally trying to grow and push each other. Hey, man, if you send me out a hat, I appreciate you. I'll send you back some stickers. They're my Gen 1 logo stickers still, but I'm in the middle of getting some Gen 2 stickers down the line. Goonsville and I are going to work on merch. Me and Petros have already had these discussions. We're working on some stuff in the future. And down the line, we can try to make some stuff work. But if you do, I appreciate you, man. You know how to reach out to me on Instagram, of course. And if you do send me out a hat, I'll gladly wear it on the stream, and I got you. I'll gladly promote you guys. I'll make sure you guys get all the love and respect that you guys deserve, because the work that you guys do is awesome. I really do appreciate the work you guys do. Just Broncos content creation online. When I was originally thinking about even getting into it, because there's a lot of shows, there's a lot of discussion out there, and I was worried that it's not going to be its own vibe, it's not going to be different. Well, if you pull it up compared to a lot of other shows, it comes off as pretty different still. One, because I don't know what I'm doing half the time with this producing, and so at times it's kind of bad. At least for some of those first few streams, it was pretty bad. But then currently, We are getting better. We're learning more and more. But I like to think that the format feels different here on this late night stream. I do have the lights off right now. I only have the ring light on just a little bit up front, but I have the lights off in here, so it kind of gives like this slightly darker vibe back over here where I am on camera. But man, I got this Goonsville corner up here, man. If only you guys saw how many hats I own. I own over like 35 hats, and we're going to keep growing these hat numbers too. My hat numbers are rookie numbers. I own a lot of Broncos hats. I own plenty of Goonsville hats because when I met Petros, he became like a brother to me, and Goonsville's been nothing but supportive of me in this whole journey. Back when I had barely any subs to now where I'm at now. And every person who's been able to jump in and support it along this ride has become nothing but an instant, friend or family member to me. At least to your family, to Still Up Sports. You're a member of the Still Up family. So thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Broncos chat. If you choose to, send me a hat. If your boss allows it, I appreciate it. I'll try to get you guys some stickers if I can. Well, no matter what, you tell me where, I'll send out some stickers. And then down the line, when I get the new stickers, I'll send out a free sticker pack. Because when I do sticker packs in the future, it's going to be loaded with all kinds of different size and types of stickers, and it's only going to be $10, and it's just going to go towards funding, smaller things for this channel, like slowly getting the couch, getting a legit camera. When I go to Denver, I'm going to be doing a lot of content creation and filming. And when I'm in Denver, I'm going to be... I would like to have a better camera to film with or something like that. A lot of interviews, a lot of stuff to film. And so I need to build up my equipment game still. Like, I need to get a standing tripod. There's things I'm working on saving up for. So when I do sticker packs in the future, they're going to be packed with a lot of stickers, and they're only going to cost $10, maybe $8. I'm going to look at the pricing and try to get it down as to $8 or $7, so I can at least still make a little bit of money off of it, so I can save up on those. But Broncos chat, you get a free sticker pack whenever those are done. But even then, if you want some of these Gen 1 logos, this Gen 1 sticker logos, I will gladly send you some of these Gen 1 stickers. You just tell me, because I've said for anyone who's watched these streams, anyone who wants some Gen 1 stickers, the Gen 1 logo that was made by AI, I have all those stickers still, and they're all free. So if anyone wants Gen 1 logo stickers, you tell me, and they're all for you. You just tell me, and I'll send you plenty. All right, guys. Let's jump off the screen capture real quick. Here we are. So you can see the cat. You see the cat cleaning himself over there. All right, guys. We'll go back to the overlay. I didn't know Free Broncos Man was your boss, man. If a lot of your posts are like tagging him into him, that would make a lot of sense. I got to go back, but yeah, man, I'll definitely double check. I'm pretty sure I may be subscribed to him or following him already, Bob. I'm going to double check literally as soon as this stream ends, and as soon as I grab my phone, because I'm trying to let it charge. Let's see. Yeah, man, you guys are awesome. I love what you guys do. All right, guys, so we're going to jump into this pro Sign Von discussion talk. And feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, but definitely comment after the fact if you're listening how you feel about this. I want to know why you feel about, yes, bring Von back, or why you feel, no, don't bring him back. This discussion is not necessarily about Von anymore. It's about the fans, because that's what this has grown into. It's grown into a fan discussion, not necessarily a Von discussion anymore, because what happens because this discussion alone has become something in Broncos country that has grown into something more than I think it needed to be. Hey, man, you're awesome still. I appreciate you so much. It doesn't matter if you're just a graphics guy, bro. You're awesome. You make some of the best graphics out there, so yeah, you're up there, bro. Thank you guys for being still up with me. You know, it's 3:36 Mountain Time. I hope everyone's having a great morning. If you're still up right now at 3:36 a.m. in Denver, you know, I hope you're having a great night. Whether you're working the late shift, whether you're working at all, whether you can't sleep, whether you're at the club and you're in your Uber headed home and you're drunk, you know, thank you for coming in and listening about sports and listening to us talk about sports. If you ever want to, guys, feel free to go back and watch my other streams. They're bad. Some of them are bad. I'm just going to always be my harshest critic, but a lot of them are kind of on the bad end. Some audio issues with a few. One of them, it was very low the whole stream. So, but I appreciate any like, comment, subscribe, whatever. Just or just a view, because it helps every little bit. And you see, I hope that you guys can see the growth, because you can tell that I'm slightly figuring things out a little more. I'm getting more comfortable, and that's the part with this is I try not to overanalyze stuff. Like, I don't overanalyze how like the voice sounds and how anything else sounds. Everyone hates how their voice sounds on audio or on camera and on video, but the whole point is you just got to ignore it and just roll with it. And Zach Stevens from DMVR told me, when I asked him, because there was only one person, maybe two people that I asked for, going into my very first stream for feedback or input. But I specifically asked Zach Stevens how he handles himself on camera, and literally said, don't overanalyze anything, and that's how I've been. I like to think that I've been as cool as a cucumber, minus, the occasional stutter. And that's something that when I lock in and I try to focus on, I can avoid. But the stutters happen. I break out the Obama ums, I break those out a little bit, and I do break out, the Biden stutter. But those are both natural, so I was born with both. But yeah, guys, it'd be sick if I could get in and cover this Pass Rush Summit, because I would love to, even if I could, talk to Vaughn or just get the engagement or talk to anyone there, or get an interview with a professional would be amazing. All right, so we're going to get back into this pro-Vaughn discussion talk real quick, all right? Because there's some great points to get into this pro-Vaughn talk. So, first pro-Vaughn talk, and Vaughn said it, and I'll go back to it real quick, because, well, there was some negatives in his own words about, I will not, be a starter. I will not play special teams. Those are negatives to a lot of fans, but to a lot of fans, they don't want him or think that he needs to. And so there's some counter discussion points to those points that were made in the no to signing Vaughn camp. The no to signing Vaughn camp obviously was worried about him taking snaps or stuff like that, or specifically a roster spot, because a lot of people think that you don't make that work without a roster spot. Well, a lot of people who are pro Vaughn say you can just skimp at tight end. Skimp at one of these other positions. Maybe one less. I don't know if you want to how much you want to skimp at DB, but just skimp at one of these positions and maybe skimp at D line. People are saying that you can just skimp at one of these positions and maybe you make it work, and you carry Vaughn as an extra linebacker. There is a discussion out there, and there's like a little middle group where there are some people out there saying, well, let's just wait for an injury to happen, or if an injury happens, then you call Vaughn and sign him up. But I do think Vaughn plays, and I think he's doing literally everything he can to try to make sure it's in Denver. But if it's literally like the beginning of the season, he has to get on a team, or he's going to just go to where he can. And so, yes, there is a lot of nostalgia to it, and there is a lot of Bronco fans that are leading this discussion with emotion on how they handle this whole Von coming back thing. But the whole Von coming back thing, even though it may be a little emotional or there may be some nostalgia to it, he had 9 sacks. He was very productive in what time he had, and you can't deny the locker room impact. Earlier, we were talking about the locker room impact being a negative for some of those guys, for someone that maybe he might take their spot or at least take snaps from. That's very true. But I also mentioned that there will be a positive, too, for some of those guys that like are on the top part of that room. So maybe you got to look at it from and even if Von comes into that room, of course, he can still coach up some of these younger guys, too. But point is that if you bring Von in, likely one of these younger guys might be gone. And if you bring Von in, I did say there was a negative because some of these younger guys may resent that because there goes some of their snaps, there goes some of their playing time. But I also said that there's the positive, and there is. That positive is that, you got guys like Cooper and Bonitto really maybe even take another step just because they're getting that like DeMarcus Ware treatment from Von, that true like mentorship, that education that comes with having a guy that won, a Super Bowl MVP, is a 2-time Super Bowl champion, was a Defensive Rookie of the Year, should have won a Defensive Player of the Year, but J.J. Watt couldn't help himself but be a freak every year. So my point is that there's some positive with Von too because of what he could do to the top of that linebacker room and towards a mentorship. He can very much mentor and coach up these younger guys, but he very much, at the same time, can have a big impact on, let's say, Nick Bonitto, or let's say Jonathan Cooper, or even Jonah Ellis. Whoever is in that room, DeAndre Tillman, whoever ends up making it in that room, if let's say you did bring Von in, whether you do skimp at another position to keep an extra linebacker, or keep an extra edge like him, or if you do make the move, and let's say you just do it anyway, even if it doesn't make sense somehow, and you just choose to cut one of these guys. There's still a positive to having Von back. There was a good few negatives earlier. So far on positives, right now you got the locker room impact specifically, not on the back of that linebacker room, that edge room, but specifically that front of that edge room and what he could do for Coop and for Bonitto. He could probably maybe he can unlock a little more in them. Von may be that not like the. There's been times where Von's always been targeted at times when you want to run the ball at him, but sometimes that's the best thing to do to a team's best edge player is run the ball at him and make them play a run defense instead of doing what they're best at, which is coming at you. So sometimes that's the best bet. Von has had a long time to practice getting off the edge. Maybe he can help out. Maybe there's. I just can't help but think that there's so much that Von has that he can pass on to Nick Bonitto, and which could really be crucial. Even if Von's just a 1-year thing, even if it's just a 1-year thing, whether it's a Vetman thing or it's just barely like $1 million, whatever. If it's a 1-year thing, a lot of people, and if I'm Von, I would just, he wants to get into, he wants to be a GM. He wants to get into some of this other stuff, whether it could be coaching or who knows what. I really do think that Von sees a life in Denver, at least playing at least once, one more time. But besides that, I got this feeling he obviously sees his life in Denver post-career. He probably loved it in Denver when he lived here, and he probably just wants to live here again. There. I'm not here. I'm not here in Denver. I am here in Las Vegas. But Denver is home to me, so it feels like home. It'll always be home. But that's my point, is it probably feels like home to Von, too. And he can have a plus in that locker room, even though there will be maybe 1 or 2 players that might suffer due to it, you can't deny that maybe he might be able to leave a lasting impression, a serious lasting impression on one of these younger edges. That's quite possible. Hey guys, we've gone for just about almost 2 hours. We've gone for almost 2 hours. I really do appreciate everyone showing up, guys. We're probably only going for maybe another hour or two, max. Probably another hour. We'll just go for another hour. Because we do have another discussion to get into soon about the cornerback room. But yeah, thank you guys for showing up, man. The extra subs, all that means a lot. But yeah, so in terms of what it might cost for Vaughn, I don't really think the money is the problem with the whole Vaughn situation. So I would like to not even talk about money. Money's not the discussion. So we'll just put the money thing aside for Von Miller right now. Right now, we want to figure out, if it's worth it or if it's not worth it. And I do think that right now, I still have not given enough to say that it's worth it. But it's definitely worth it to some people. And if you look at what it could mean to Cooper and to Benito, if you look at what it could mean to the fan base, for ticket sales, for putting butts in seats, think about what it could mean just for the overall vibe, not just for the locker room, but for the city. He could bring either wanted or unwanted pressure, but I see it as wanted pressure, because if we got that close to a Super Bowl last year, we got one game away from having a Super Bowl. We got that close. By bringing in Von Miller, a Super Bowl 50 MVP, a two-time Super Bowl winner. By bringing in Von Miller, you're basically saying it's Super Bowl or bust, because that's what teams do. That's what the Rams did when they were in their window, is they went out and got Von Miller. And I've already called it. My Super Bowl prediction is the Rams and the Broncos. How amazing would it be to get Von Miller onto the Broncos and to face the Rams, his former team, in the Super Bowl in his former home in L.A. when he was a Ram? That would be amazing. That'd be full circle. Let's give Von his third ring. That would be fun. You can see how, for vibes, for the locker room, it's not just locker room. With Vaughn, it is not just locker room vibes. It's also vibes that you get with the crowd, and it's vibes that you get with the fan base, too. The crowd alone will go crazy anytime they hear Von Miller and his name mentioned over the speaker. So not just when it comes to the crowd, but then you think about New Jersey sales, anything that involves Vaughn again in Denver. He would literally instantly change the vibes and raise the bar and the expectations immediately. Because when you make a move like that, you're saying this guy can be what helps get us over the curb. And that's why that discussion earlier I had about this why is not, this is not, this is not, this is reasons why we should not. Some of those are valid points, because you want to wonder, is Von Miller right now at his age and what he produced last year, is that enough to get you over the hump? And we don't know yet. We will find out, whether it's with us or with someone else. You got to see, do you think that what he can bring to this team is valuable enough or worth enough to get you over the hump? And some will say that vibes alone is not enough. But it's not just vibes in terms of in the locker room and what he can teach, the other pass rushers, but it changes everything for the fan base again. The fan base has a fire lit under itself even more than it already does, because they want to get that Super Bowl, and they know that Super Bowl pressure is legitimately on with Von back. I really get this vibe that, the 2014 playoffs, I believe we lost to the Colts. It wasn't like an AFC championship, but it was still, I think it was the divisional. I could be wrong, but I think it was the divisional. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But I believe that this whole comparison with the Broncos Patriots and then that Broncos Colts from 2014 playoff, it's very similar. And what happened after that playoff run, they ended up working their way to Super Bowl 50 and coming back in. And I got this vibe that Denver's going to take that playoff loss and use it as fuel. And when you bring in Von Miller, it locks in 100% that, like, boom or bust, we're going for this. It's chip or nothing. Because if we can't win a chip with everything that we have at that point, and that's on top of, like, the Waddle addition and everything else, if you can't win a Super Bowl while going boom or bust, like other teams have gone boom or bust and made late signings or moves, big trades, whatever it is, to try to sign a big corner or a big linebacker or a big, like, skill player, to really help them get over that hump. And it's paid off for a lot of teams. It paid off for the Rams with Vaughn. But at the same time, we really hope that it could maybe do that here in Denver. But it changes the expectations immediately, and that could be good or bad. I see it as a good, because with Bo Nix in these first 2 years, we've only seen him get better and better and get deeper and deeper in the playoffs. And I can't help but imagine that by bringing that vibe, it would help. But I mentioned earlier, there was some people that would worry about it being too aggressive of a presence because of for a depth guy that's not even playing safety, isn't even not safety, isn't playing special teams, and isn't starting, and is getting all that camera time. Who knows how that would affect the team in terms of negativity. But just by having Vaughn back, he sets the tone for the franchise. He sets the tone inside that room for the guys that, I'm not saying that the depth guys don't matter. The Tillmans, the very bottom edges on this team. It's not like it's a shot at them. It's the fact that Von Miller probably has more of a presence on Cooper and Bonitto than he would on them. And that's the point with bringing Vaughn in. If you want Vaughn back, is that he is going to play a factor in maybe helping Cooper, or maybe because Cooper and Bonitto, there's one thing they need to do. Like, Bonitto is a big play, edge. He's made big plays, whether it's the pick six, whether it's the block to stop the touchdown and to save the game against the Commanders. Bonito's a big play linebacker, and Cooper is like a big high motor type edge. But there's one thing they both need to do, and they need to learn to become closers like Vaughn. And maybe that's something that Vaughn's presence can do, is teach Nick Bonitto to become a closer. That's what you want from a good edge, is a legit closer. So with Vaughn right now, you're looking at like the presence inside the locker room and the mentorship, but then you're looking at what he does for the fan base and setting the tone and the standard. He can do a lot. He can really help this team in a lot of ways. But in my opinion, there's more talking points as of why not to bring Vaughn back than there are talking points of why it makes sense. Again, money doesn't play a factor into this, honestly. And wherever you land on this decision, and you let me know in the comments whether you're for Vaughn and why, or you're against Vaughn coming back and why, you let me know why. But no matter what the decision is, it's the fact that we're talking about if a Super Bowl 50 champion and two-time champ, and if the legend Von Miller himself even should make this team, that should show you how good this team is. When we're talking about our edges being possibly better than him, and then some of these guys being, depth pieces maybe being better than him. And that's why this discussion exists. If our backup edges were not as good as they were, we would automatically be making this move, because we would be saying we need to have that third rusher. We got to have that extra rusher behind Cooper and behind Bonitto, just because they can't stay out there all the time. But that's not the discussion. The discussion we're having is because of the fact that they are still so competent at the depths of edge. So there's more talking points for no to Vaughn than there is to yes to Vaughn, in my opinion, because most of the Vaughn talking points are vibe based, and that is hard to hold weight for a lot of people, or at least mean something for a lot of people. But I definitely think that this whole Vaughn situation has really stirred up the fan base. I've watched online and seen how some people think that it's a lazy take to just accept the vibes and just sign him, or some people think that it's just a hater take to say no, Vaughn shouldn't be back, even though both sides have given some pretty solid. Both sides have given some pretty solid reasons behind it, honestly. And I could get behind both arguments, honestly. It just, I'm not the GM. I don't know how this is going to play out. Would I love to have Vaughn back and win a Super Bowl? Yes, because then I guarantee you what he needs to do is just take that Super Bowl and retire. Go out as a 3-time champ. But I got this feeling that he's going to keep playing until he can't, because he's chasing that sack record. He's not going to get the sack record, but he's going to come close. I think he's got maybe 3 more years on him of playing really, really okay ball. He's past his great elite ball, and he's past his great ball, but he can play some good to okay ball still. And that's what you'd be paying him for, is to be, a backup edge, but doesn't contribute on special teams or as a starter. So for him to be worth it, is the vibes enough to bump that up there enough to justify it? That's for you guys to decide, not me. All right, guys. It is currently almost 3 a.m. 3 a.m. Here in Las Vegas, 4 a.m. Mountain Time. We are going to be diving into our cornerback decision soon. We're going to finish out and round out this Von Miller discussion real quick with an overall look on this now. So you've gotten both kind of real perspectives for the most part. There's not a lot of discussion to try to say, yes, it makes sense for Vaughn to be here. There's not a lot of in his camp other than that. It's mostly like vibe-based, or like, well, think about the potential or what he could do. There's not that much. I mean, 9 sacks is nice, but it was also on a bad team. And one could argue that some of the guys that Vaughn would maybe be competing for to get snaps for, those guys could be starting on other teams. That Vaughn could, there's a chance they could be starting over Vaughn on other teams. Because of the fact that they are flexible with special teams, or because some of them have like real upside starter capability because they're a lot younger and they have the motor and the capability to make it happen. But when you look at this both ways, like I said, it's a great problem. Sorry, guys. It's a great problem to have when you want to talk about this whole Vaughn problem, if it's worth it or if it's not worth it, to even talk about, for Von Miller to be a discussion piece on it's good or it's bad, or yes, no, that's insane. Because if this was 5 years ago, we'd be saying yes in a heartbeat. But it's not 5 years ago. I don't know how I feel fully about it, so in terms of my take, I will just say that I feel for both. I got a neutral stance on the whole Vaughn thing, because I got a lot of love for these young guys. I want to see them. I want to see these young guys really hit their full potential, and I want to see them really grow. I want to see them get to thrive and sit in the system for another year or so and really develop. But then there's that side of me that's just like, Vaughn could really, really, at least in my opinion, having him at practice and around Nick and around Coop so much, I just can't help but wonder, maybe he's got a little more that he could pass on And that's why he does want to come back to Denver. And he has said a little bit that he knows he has a lot of information he can pass on. And I don't think any of us is denying that Vaughn has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and that he could probably share them pretty well. I've just enjoyed this whole Vaughn discussion in general. Like, I don't have an opinion on how I land on it, other than I'm accepting of whatever outcome with the Vaughn situation. And it is, in my opinion, a situation now, because you got a lot of Bronco fans that if you put up a poll, I think that the numbers are still going to lean in favor of bring him back, but I think that number in terms of don't bring him back is going to grow more and more. And again, I think that they have a solid argument. They have a pretty solid argument on why not to bring Vaughn back. Anyone who's in the anti-bring Vaughn camp back, that does not make you a hater of Vaughn. That does not make you a hater. It's because you're a lover of these younger guys, and because you're a lover of their playing time and what their potential could be, and you don't want to just stunt that, and you don't want to just possibly run the risk of moving on from some of it and letting that, because you just cooked up and developed all that potential, and you don't want to just hand it over to someone else. Again, though, there's a lot of the positive for Vaughn's for most part is just vibes based. I mean, he would bring up in some sacks for sure, and I'm sure they got some packages that would be like probably very exotic. They probably got some very exotic packages that you could run with Vaughn and with some of these other guys like Vaughn, Jonah, Nick, and Coop, you know, or just throw out, like, let's say Zach Allen, Vaughn, Coop, and Nick, you know. You could get real creative somehow, and it would be very fun. I don't get paid to make these decisions, guys. I'm just paid to ponder and think about it, and I'm not paid at all. I'm just here to think about it and ponder about it, because to see how the fans have been reacting online, that's why I was curious to get into this discussion. I was already getting bored of the Vaughn discussion online, but I was not getting bored of what it was doing to the fans and seeing how fans were reacting. Because I think seeing how fans were reacting was pretty obvious that some fans are, even though a lot of them are, the bulk are leaning in towards pro, like obviously just sign Vaughn out of pure emotion, or whatever conviction they have. I think that the number of people who are anti-Vaughn, that number is growing and growing. And it's not anti-Vaughn, it's just pro, you know, these younger guys. That's all that is. But that was a great Von Miller discussion, guys. I was really excited for that one. Seeing the Twitter fallout online of seeing some people like go after each other, not like crazy hard, not like after the Alex Singleton news when we re-signed Alex Singleton. Man, I had it rough in the DNVR Broncos live chat. Because I'm a big DNVR diehard, of course, but I had a lot of people come after me and roast me because I was all I was trying to point out with the whole Alex Singleton thing is that people were getting mad at like DNVR or me just for being like supportive of the situation. Well, that's how sports works. Once it happens, you can't change it. So you just got to accept it and find a way to either support or understand it. And that's the whole point of the local media and all this media, is to try to understand and bring discussion. Because when you can discuss stuff, you can understand stuff more. But I enjoyed talking about Vaughn right there, guys. That was fun. Thank you so much, guys, for popping in. You guys are awesome. We do have a cat over here sleeping right here. You do see one right there. It is currently my weekend now, guys, so I got a fun weekend ahead of me. I'm gonna go see my sister's dog tomorrow, Domino. We did get the bad news about his cancer, but we're just trying to hang out and spend some time with him. And it's going to be a fun day tomorrow, just spend time with him. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be going to see Tom Grossi, the amazing Packers streamer that it just sets the tone for a lot of these long form fundraising streams that I admire a lot, and that's why I know that I can stream and I can talk for a very long time. Especially probably after like another hour, I'd start hitting my wind. You see me yawning a lot right now, but that's just because I was up really, really late yesterday at work, and then when I got off late at work, that kept me to that made me end up staying up even later after getting back when I was already late getting back. So my sleep schedule's a little messed up, but I am not tired. I'm just yawning a bit, guys. I got a fan blowing at me and everything. Yeah, guys, anyone that shows up, you're friend and family to me. So if anyone wants sticker packs, just let me know. Wait a minute, Broncos chat. Thank you so much for popping in, man. Everyone go check out Broncos chat on YouTube. Caden Luttrell. Thank you so much for saying that the setup is fire. That meant a lot. Goonsville, thank you so much for showing up as always. I know that you've been busy and that you're probably sleeping. You got to get your rest, man. Goonsville just innovating every day, getting stuff done. All right, guys. So we're gonna probably jump right into this corner discussion. We're going to get into this cornerback discussion because it was brought up to me on that last pod. And with that discussion and the question that was brought up on the last pod was from Jay Weaver. Total dog, total legend. Has his own show with Orange and Blue. So, go check him out whenever you see him, whether on Twitter or on YouTube. Make sure if you see Jay Weaver, make sure you support him. But Jay Weaver, last week before one of my streams, he asked me about Jahdae Barron and if he can live up to the potential or what they're going to do with him because of where he was drafted and all that. And yes, he is in a weird position. He was drafted very high, and he's behind some great players. But that being said, I am not pro-trade anyone. I do not want to see deductions from this team unless absolutely necessary. I want to see additions at best. I want to see this team stay the same or get a little better. We are not trying to see a regression. So I don't want to try to create holes on this team or not. So I am not pro trade Jahdae Barron. I mean trade Riley Moss. Just like I am not pro trade Marvin Mims. It's just there's these weird discussions around them. That's why this conversation happens. But in terms of the corners and with Riley Moss, I do not think that we need to trade him. I think he is your cornerback too, outside, opposite of Pat. And then yes, J-Mac is your slot. But in my opinion, I just send Barron out there all year as your dime, or whenever there's a matchup against a safety, send Barron out there. Barron could continue to get more reps, and I imagine that his man and that just a lot of him I imagine he is getting so much better and growing so much more in this room. I really think that he's going to have a big year. Some people underestimate the kind of year you can have when you're not starting, but I think that he showed last year he got a pick or two, and he would have had a pick 6 against the Chiefs. I said it last week, but yes, Jahdae Barron would have had a pick 6 against the Chiefs if it was not called back, and it was only called back because of BS Chiefs ref ownership reasons, So because of that, I truly think that Barron would have had a pick 6 on his resume. And just having the pick 6, people would have been like, oh, wow. He did have a pick 6. So it shows you that people will be like, oh, well, look, he has ball hawking skills. And he has taken the ball away before. And I love how he matches up against these tight ends. He can be I know he's a little short, but besides that, he plays bigger than his size still, I think. And I truly think that had a chance to really grow and get comfortable. I'm really pro Jahdae Barron for what it's worth, and I'm pro Riley Moss, and I'm very pro J-Mac. And if you were to tell me how I would want this whole situation to go out with the cornerback room, no, I'm worried. And also, we'll mention Pat for a second, because Pat probably might want a raise soon. That's my guess, is in a year or two, you got soon or whatever. PS2 probably wants a raise, just because he's super undervalued due to how the market is now. And because you got him for a steal early, and the market has drastically gone up. But because of that, I will say that how I see this going is, you keep Pat, obviously, and you probably get yourself that, give him a little bonus at one point or another. But besides that, I want the J-Mac extension. J-Mac is the best slot corner in the league, and I think he has another 2-3 years of elite ball before he starts just playing like good ball. I think he's sticking around long term for a while, as long as we pay him. And I really am excited for what could happen with J-Mac. I think that J-Mac is a clear talent. I mean, the man has highlight after highlight. He's a takeaway machine. I like him, and I really don't want to see him leave. So if there's anything I would say, if I had to pick between, let's say, Moss or J-Mac, I'm signing J-Mac, and I'm letting Moss leave. But I'm not doing anything to Moss this year. I leave Moss on the roster for this season because we got a championship to go get. That's why I'm not trading anyone this year. I'm building out this team, and I'm growing this team out more. I'm not taking away from this team. I'm only adding talent. I'm not getting rid of talent. And so with that being said, I think that, while there's that discussion of trading Moss, throw Barron out there and force feed him, I think that Barron could do just fine with another year of grooming and, learning in that system, and being your tight end killer. He can be your tight end killer. He can come in and dime. He can match up against some certain running backs maybe. When you don't want, let's say, a guy like Alex Singleton to be exposed against a tight end or a running back. That's why bringing Jahdae in as that extra linebacker for those matchups is good for him. So I like the idea of it, because we've always talked about at times about how like Aqib used to cover some teams' big tight ends or number one tight ends, or how PS2 at times has covered number one tight ends. He's done it to Brock Bowers before. He's done it to Kelsey. I think Barron has proved that he can cover a tight end. If you're just why not just give him that opportunity more? And if you want to in the future, you can still continue to grow that room in the future. But if you don't want Barron always outside, he can be your cornerback 2 of the future. No matter what, Aqib was cornerback 1. Chris was cornerback 2. It just so happened that Chris was a cornerback 2 that would go in, out, in, out. And I do believe that Barron can go in, out. I just think he needs more time to sit and develop. And then if you think that he's strongest inside, you can do that still. And because that was the whole point of getting like a Bradley Roby, was like, even though Chris could play outside, you liked him on the inside best. The matchups get better for you on defense when you had Aqib on wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2 if it's a giant wide receiver, but then you got Chris in the slot taking out wide receiver 2, or wide receiver 1 if it's a super small shifty guy in the slot like that you wouldn't want on Aqib in the slot, So I really think that there's some matchups that you can do, even if Barron were to become your potential corner number 2, or be given the weight of being corner number 2. He could be a corner number 2 that could slide in a little bit. I mean, we see a little bit with Jaquan, that Jaquan can play outside against like some of these smaller receivers, but you don't want him outside against some of these bigger guys. So he is interchangeable, and he did play the star at Texas, which just means that he played a lot. He played a lot of different positions. He played some linebacker. He played some safety. He played some slot. He played all across that defense. And I'm not opposed to even just trying to keep using him like that a little bit. I just think that he could be a matchup piece on defense because he's capable enough to slow down tight ends, to probably keep up with running backs. It's just you may at times may not want him in like one-on-one, like certain situations with like elite receivers. I could be wrong, guys. I could be getting maybe I'm a little tired, but in terms of this cornerback room, I'm just pro keeping it the way it is. I don't want to do nothing until the offseason. I like keeping all this depth and keeping everyone around and just going with what we got. Yeah, guys, I do think that Barron is deserving of this criticism, especially after this year if it doesn't plan out. But I do think he deserves the benefit of doubt because he has not been even though he was drafted, and people expect where he was drafted to mean like, oh, he's cornerback too. He was not drafted at first to be cornerback too. He was drafted just to be there because Riley was cornerback too. He was just drafted to come in and be like, oh, this is a piece that we can grow and develop. And I think that that's what he is just let him develop another year. Let him be your tight end, special dime matchup. And just take advantage of, let him take advantage of those outside reps when he can get them. And if he doesn't work out, so what? You hit the well for another corner next year. Just don't trade Moss early. That's why I don't want you to touch these some of these position groups. I don't want them touched because I don't want you to have to readdress that in the future. All right, guys. Let's see. That was fun. I would say this would be the time for Q&A, but I do not have any questions from anyone. Yeah, so, I mean, with the quarterback room, to me, there's not much to it, but I understand the discussion about why people say trade Riley, keep Riley. Do you trade Barron? Do you keep Barron? What do you do with them all? But I'm not, like, hitting the panic button. I'm hitting the relax button and just let it play out for the season. If you let this cornerback room play out for the season before just making the move yourself, it may play out in the best possible scenario. At least you've let it play out before just making a move. Yes, guys, I do think that Barron's capable of playing across the board. Especially if it's a limited role where they're like, this is where you're going to be, you just go play safety for this route. I mean, for this play, or go play slot on this guy, on this one dude. Barron could be a good matchup piece. And I like that because if he can keep developing, which I think he will develop more, that frees up Pat. Pat doesn't necessarily have to take the number one target on the field if that target is a tight end. So maybe he can go lock down the top receiver while Barron goes handles the tight end. That's a possibility in the future. I'm leaning into a lot of Barron, like, really developing and succeeding, and I'm high on Barron compared to most. So if any of these takes seem like very hopeful or like they're just like really like optimistic, that's because I'm optimistic about Barron and the situation he's been in to grow and develop. He's the kind of guy that because he wasn't a starter and because he didn't get to really get to like make a huge name for himself, he's going to really grow off of that and use that as fuel. And knowing Barron's character and personality, I truly expect this man to break through at whatever that point is. And I expect him to really start thriving. And when he does get his respect, people are going to be going out trying to buy those Barron jerseys. But for the cornerback room, guys, there's not much left there other than the fact that I think that you really can't trade Moss. You don't want to make premature decisions on Moss or J-Mac or Barron. Just keep what you got and roll with it, and then just do your best to get Barron involved more. Because if Barron gets involved more, if you keep everything that you have and you get Barron involved more, at least you run the chance of Barron really developing and growing more. Worst case scenario, I mean, at least you tried. Let's see, guys. I'm probably going to just cut the stream a little early soon, just probably in a little bit, just because I'm getting a little tired and I'm not thinking straight. I think I'm getting kind of tired. It's been a long week, and it's been a long emotional week because of the whole situation with Domino, and hoping that he has great days ahead of him with what time he has left. So I do apologize, guys, if the last little bit I started rambling. I was getting a little tired. I'm settling in. It's been a busy work week and busy work day for me, and I'm getting nice and comfy and warm in my hoodie, and I'm getting nice and tired. So thank you again to everyone that showed up in the chat and commented, everyone that showed up and helped me get up a few more subscribers. We're going to pop up over to the screen capture real quick and take a look. Let's see. Oops. All right. See that, guys? We're at 69 subs. Thank you, Petros. Thank you, Broncos chat. Thank you, Caden. Thank you guys so much. Everyone that showed up, everyone that came out and supported me. Thank you, everyone that went into us. Anyone who subscribed to Broncos chat. Thank you, anyone who's just supportive. The only way we all will thrive in this world is when we're all working together and really promoting and supporting each other. And that's one thing I'm just proud of, is how much we all support each other and how much we push each other to grow and get better. We will be live again this weekend before we hit that Monday show. It just depends on when. But we will go live again this weekend when it happens. I'll make sure I send out some posts on all the social media platforms to let everyone know. But, everyone, thank you so much for showing up. Go check out this little clip of, the Goonsville shout-out from the very first stream. I was definitely not as comfortable. I was very uncomfortable in that first stream compared to now. Now I'm getting very comfortable. But definitely go give Goonsville some love. Go give Broncos chat a sub. Go subscribe to the Buckham Pod. They just reached 500 subs. We're all growing together, and that's what I love seeing, is that everyone getting an extra sub every day, no matter how we do it. So thank you guys so much. It was a fun discussion. Like I said, with the Von Miller thing, you got two real discussions on yes or no, and that is the discussion. Whether it happens or doesn't happen, I think that's the secondary discussion, or I think it just sits in the background. It doesn't matter as much, because it's more about how you got fans arguing over Von Miller on yes or no, which I think just shows you that your team is that talented. Your depth guys are that talented, and which makes it a genuine conversation, because you don't want to get rid of some of these guys. Some of these guys may be better than Von, or may be able to pan. Not like Von's a Hall of Famer. His career set in stone, but better than Von right now in the moment, is what I'm saying. So that's why it's such a fun discussion with Von. And then the cornerback room, it's all Barron dependent, really. Because if Barron can pan out and be your outside corner because he's just that legit and that good, then you probably just trade or let Riley leave. If Barron can't pan out outside, maybe that's your chance to see him and see how he plans out at inside still, because then maybe you just make the move from J-Mac. But me personally, I like to keep J-Mac and just continue to just let Barron sit for this year as like your dime guy, your tight end guy, your backup guy. Send him out there for any little rep as a corner, whether it's in the slot, whether it's on the outside. I don't care. Just get him his reps, get him on tight ends, however it needs to be. But I liked what he did on tight ends last year, and I think he can grow off of that. I think he's going to be even better in man coverage this year than he was last year. But and then yeah, super fun discussion, guys. Thank you so much. I enjoy talking about everything, whether we're talking about Goonsville, whether we're talking about like channel updates, about moving on from Streamlabs to StreamYard, so we can try to get some guests. Petros from Goonsville is going to be our first like guest we have on air, but I am still open to hopping on someone else's stream. So if anyone wants me to just hop on and I don't have to do any producing at all, I just have to sit there and just talk and then stop talking. You know, I am perfectly fine to hop on stream with you. Just reach out or DM me. You know, I'm always looking for a chance to grow and help us all stream together and grow together. Besides that, guys, I don't got much else to say. The cats are tired. I'm very tired. I'm losing my train of thought. So this is why I want to cut out now, so that way I don't mess anything up or have any more errors. We're just trying to round up this stream in the best way we can. So thank you guys for 69 subs. Thank you guys for showing up. Next stream, we'll do our position group deep dive, and we just covered the corners for the most part. And a lot of these rooms, you're going to hear me say, don't get rid of these guys because you want to keep them. That doesn't mean you keep everyone. You got to cut some guys, of course. But I'm just saying, you want to keep your core. So there may be a few of these rooms that I want to keep the core, but there's some of these rooms you have to look towards the future. Like, let's say safety, that would be a great room to go into, but I want to go back to the offense. So maybe we'll do running back, tight end, or wide receiver. We'll ask the chat, or we'll ask the social media platform. I'll put out a poll, and we'll see which one we'll discuss next on the next show. Besides that, guys, thank you, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Yeah, it is currently almost 4:30 in the morning Mountain Time, 3:30 in the morning here in Las Vegas. So thank you for being still up with me. It's always fun talking and watching me grow as a producer, watching me grow as I talk more on camera and work on my stuttering, work on talking to you guys about ball, whether we talk about a sad series with the Knights or beating the Avs, or whether we talk about who does the Nuggets or the Knights do the Nuggets or the Avs need to get new head coaches to succeed, or when we're talking position groups, or we're talking about Broncos drama, whatever it is. It's awesome. It's been a fun vibe. So I'm just gonna play this music and let it play me out, guys. Thank you for popping by, and I'll see you guys this weekend. I don't know when, but just stay tuned for updates and stay tuned for some posts. I'm gonna definitely get a picture or two with Tom Grossi, but just stay tuned for some posts, and just thank you for being you guys. Thank you for letting me be me and let me use this platform to be myself. It means the world. All right, guys, thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you.